it's a ballpark. That doesn't mean you can just play baseball in a ballpark. It's football tonight, and it's a big one. It's a big-time football game in a baseball stadium. Samstick Day, Chad Bush. We've got De La Salle and the defending state champion, Orchard Lake St. Mary's, going at it tonight in a different kind of venue, but the same stories remain. These two teams are intense rivals, and De La Salle has had St. Mary's number over the last several years.
That's what I was going to say. For it to be a rivalry, that means one team's got to start winning. And for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, that's on them tonight. Defending state champions, 2-0 to start the season. Looking very strong. Maybe see some new wrinkles in their offense tonight that we haven't seen before. And then you look across De La Salle. They got a young team, but they got 19 seniors, but they still have a young team. They're still learning. A couple penalties cost them last week. They got to keep their composure this week. And if they do, well, they could walk away with a pretty interesting win over Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
No doubt. De La Salle missed field goal that could have won them the game last week. 42-yarder, but they played well in a tough Davison team. Meanwhile, St. Mary's has not really been tested that much, to be fair. How do you feel that it gets them prepared tonight? How much of an impact?
Well, I think just the history gets them prepared, right? They're going to get up for this game regardless. And, you know, whether they're tested or not, they're going to get tested tonight. The Catholic League, you know how it is. Once it starts, it does not stop. It keeps coming at you, and De La Salle is not going to let down that they have controlled St. Mary's for, 4 years in a row. So, you know, the longer a streak goes, the closer it comes to an end. For St. Mary's, that's what you're hoping. But De La Salle, they're not going to let down that guard too easy.
Yeah, 4 straight and 6 of the last 7 for Dan Arone's boys, a program that's gone to the state championship game in 4 of the 5 years he's been there, winning a couple of them. We'll take a timeout. We'll come back. We'll have interviews with both head coaches, impact players to come, and Charlotte Turbrock's on-the-field report coming up as well. We're back with more on the Preps coverage, a Gridiron Gameday Blitz at the ballpark. Field here with head coach Jermaine Gonzalez of Orchard Lake St. Mary's, the state champions from a year ago. A tall task today. Blitz at the ballpark. They're taking on De La Salle. Fun environment. Early impressions on this baseball stadium that's going to be turned into a football field tonight.
It's different, but, you know, we're here to play football. So, you know, it's a little different when you got to play on the dirt and grass, but it's a great environment. And, you know, our kids is going to embrace it, to have fun and enjoy the game.
In 3 short years, you've been able to turn this program into a state title and state champion. What's it feel like to come back to your alma mater and bring a state title back to Orchard Lake?
It's a great feeling. It's always good when you can come back home to your home school and, you know, compete and fortunate enough to go win the state title. So the boys are excited. We know that, you know, it's a tall task, you know, after winning the title. So, you know, we just got to lock in and get ready to compete.
What are some of the differences this year? And obviously you graduated 4 guys that went direct to Michigan State and several others that deserve mention, but it's a new team. What are you noticing is the newest fabric of this ball club?
Well, not to correct you, but it was 5 guys went to state. I don't want to miss nobody out, but you know, this team is just, we talk after the season. This is a new team, new year, and but the belief system is still there with this team. Like, a lot of these guys played a lot of football last year with those guys who graduated. So, you know, they're bought into what we're trying to build here and do, and they're excited for tonight. So,
one of the guys that's going to get most of the snaps tonight and different from a year ago where he split snaps is your son, Jabin Gonzalez, the quarterback. How excited are you as a coach to get a fully healthy Jabin Gonzalez who's been under this system now for a year?
I'm excited for him. You know, he's been working hard. He's been competing. I've watched him compete all his life and win all his life. So, you know, I'm very 100% confident in his ability and what he can do. He's excited for it. Big part is his leadership. He's been leading his ball club and getting them going, and he's been doing a great job for us.
What does it mean to take on this De La Salle team, a team that has had your number the last 4 seasons, What are your thoughts on tonight's battle, and what do they bring to the table?
It's a Catholic League football game. You know, it's going to be a physical game. Like, that's what we stress to our boys, physicality, because that's where you win these games, in the trenches and being physical. So we know that we got a bloodbath in front of us, and we're up for the challenge.
What is your song that you like to listen to before the game? What gets you hyped?
You know, I don't really listen to be honest with you. If I had to pick a song, I'm more of a, you know, slow jam R&B guy before a game to settle my mind down.
Okay, give us one.
Brandy, actually. I'll listen to Brandy, and you know, and just to get in the groove. So.
All right. Well, all the best tonight in getting in a groove here in northern Macomb County. Congrats on last year's title. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
That's Jermaine Gonzalez, the head coach of Orchard Lake St. Mary's. Back with more on the prep right after this. Welcome back to Blitz at the Ballpark. We're here with head coach Dan Roan, state champion 6 times over, twice at De La Salle. And look, this is a game at which you guys have put together for a couple years now. This is year 3. What's your impressions of what's gone right when you guys have had this event?
You know, I think the atmosphere is what we want for our kids. I mean, when you talk about high school experiences, and, you know, we want to provide quality experiences, and this is one of those ones where we play in our home county, where we get a lot of crowd here. A lot of our kids who come to De La Salle live in northern Macomb County, so it creates an atmosphere like I'm kind of used to on the west side of the state. And like we went up last weekend and saw at Davison. So that's great for our kids, but also it's about, you know, playing a local team in front of a bunch of people, a good rivalry, and having some fun.
This is a younger team for you this year than you've had in the past. You did lose a lot of guys last year, but I know you're excited about some of the returners and got things that they've done. What's different about this year's club, and how would you describe them?
You know, I think there's more pressure on us as a coaching staff to get them ready. This group struggles a little bit with practice tempo and energy and staying focused for the whole time. And so, you know, that's our job, and our job is to get these kids ready. We knew we were going to be young going into the season. Our schedule doesn't allow us to be young. I mean, we got to come out and play some of the best, playing a Division II state champion team here. So we got to make sure we put our kids in position to be successful. And when they do make a mistake, coach them up and get them ready for the next one.
You've got a young quarterback you feel really good about in Grayson Thurston. Putting him in an environment like this, a little different environment. What's that like, and how did he pass the test last week?
You know, he stood up well to the challenge. I mean, there's going to be growing pains with him. We understand that, and he's going to make some mistakes. And I think his first pass of the season was an interception, and that's okay. It's going to happen. But we're gonna put the ball in his hand and expect him to distribute it to our best athletes, and hopefully go make some plays. And again, back to the same motto: he makes a mistake, coach him up, get ready for the next play, and get him ready, because I think the kid's got a long career ahead of him.
Last year was your defense that got you on the board first in Orchard Lake in your win against St. Mary's. Is this defense an advantageous defense that can score for you as well?
It can. We got some athletes out there, but they're a growing defense. I mean, we got 3 new starters on the defensive line. And last week, we learned some things about those guys and what they got to do better. So this defense, we got to make sure that we put them in position to be successful. We can't put them out there for 14-play drives like they were last week. So hopefully on third downs, they do a better job of getting off the field and give us some opportunities to score.
Not to go back to last week, but it was a credible effort on the road, a game that you could have won. We're in all the way. What does it say about your team, and how did they respond this week to that tough loss?
You know, I don't think they let it define them. I think they came out for practice. They struggled a little bit on Monday. Who's not going to lie, it was one of those hot days, and they struggled a little bit mentally to get focused. But we told them, don't let this loss define you, but let the way that we played it define us. And I thought battling back in the fourth quarter kind of showed that they got some gut and they got some grit in them. And we're going to have to play that way. I mean, we don't have 5, 6, 7 Division I football players on this team. We got some really good football players, but we're going to need 11 guys doing their job all the time.
Speaking of Orchard Lake, what's the scouting report, and what do you got to do against them?
Boy, we better slow them down somehow, because nobody has so far, and they've got some dynamic dudes on offense. And, you know, their defense is stingy. They fly around and make plays, too. So we got to make sure that we protect the football. I think we got to slow the game down a little bit and keep it in our tempo, make sure that we put ourselves in makeable third down situations, and keep our defense off the field as much as we can. And hopefully also take advantage of some special team situations. I thought our special teams played great last week, and they need to play better this week.
Thanks so much for your time. Appreciate it. Congrats on all your success.
Appreciate it. Thanks for supporting us, and love having you guys out.
Thanks, Dan. That's Dan Roan. We're back with more on the prep. Coverage continues from Blitz at the Ballpark right after this.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McKinley scores!
So my name's Tyler Mearshart. I chose to enroll in this program just to kind of get better at my skills in making things and crafting things and just being able to work well with other people.
I'm Andrew England. I chose to enroll in the robotics program because I like working with tools and just working on things in general. It's something I enjoy.
My name is Evan Kelly. I've chosen to enroll in robotics as I wanted to be an engineer. I think robotics would greatly help me in what I want to do and what I want to be when I grow up.
My favorite part about this program is the ability just to make things and be able to use your own knowledge and actually apply it in a way that's real.
My favorite part would honestly be the brotherhood we have between our team. We definitely have that, community, that spirit.
I definitely just say give it a try, and even if you don't stick with it, it'll definitely be worth it.
You don't really need any experience to join.
It'd be an awesome opportunity to learn more about robotics and the brotherhood that we have between our team.
Game day just got tastier. Buddy's Pizza at 13 Mile and Van Dyke brings that iconic Detroit-style square pie, crisp crust, bubbling cheese, and big flavor. Dine in with a family or take it home for the game. Ready to enjoy? Order at buddyspizza.com or swing by 13 Mile and Van Dyke in Warren. Buddy's Pizza, where great pizza fits the moment.
If you are looking for a life-changing workout experience, look no further than Pure Barre Novi. We are proud to help you achieve your fitness goals while joining a vibrant, supportive community that is over 300 women strong. Our classes are designed to strengthen and tone your entire body, and our teachers can help provide modifications for any fitness level. Find out more right now by calling 248-596-0002, visiting our website, following us on social media, or by coming to our studio right on Grand River Avenue in Novi. We can't wait to see you and help you achieve your fitness goals.
Watch the live broadcast right here on the Prep. Watch and subscribe. Here's the QR code. Follow us all season long. 125 games of high school action right here live and on demand on the Prep.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McKinley scores!
Welcome back to Jimmy John's Field. Blitz at the ballpark. Let's meet the impact players for tonight's game. We'll start with the road team, the Orchard Lake St. Mary's Eaglets. Stick, who can we look for the Eaglets to stand out here tonight amongst their special team?
Well, I love watching this guy play. He flies around the football. Kamari Patterson, a Western Michigan commit. Big hitter, big physical guy, and plays both sides of the football. So look for him as a wide receiver. Look for him as a DB. And he will be around the football a lot this afternoon here in Utica. And then you look at the other side. It's that man, number 2 wide receiver, Damian King, going to Ferris State. He's got a ton of speed, Chad. If he gets the ball in space, he is gone. Another two-way player, kind of like their Travis Hunter. Like he's great on both sides of the ball. Get the ball in number 2 hand and let magical things happen.
All right. Appreciate that. Many more impact players to get to. While we've got a moment, let's go down on the field to our sideline reporter, Charlotte Turbrock. Charlotte.
Thanks, Chad. Tonight we are here at Jimmy John's Field in Utica, not for some baseball, but actually for football. It is a blitz at the ballpark, and this is the 3rd year that Jimmy John's Field is hosting an event like this. They turned the field into all 100 yards of a baseball field. These two teams are going to hash it out here. De La Salle has played here the last 2 years. This is their 3rd year playing in this game, and they won the last 2 years, so this will be an exciting one to see. Chad, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Charlotte. Really appreciate that. Beautiful night for football, for anything really on this fabulous Friday. We're set for kickoff. The defending state champions, Orchard Lake St. Mary's, and Beckett Kiefer to boot it, and it is a squib. and it'll be picked up by King, and he will hit the deck and slip and fall to start the first possession for De La Salle. Stick, it's an offense led by a new signal caller for Warren De La Salle. They've got a sophomore quarterback they're excited about in Mr. Thurston.
Yeah, Grayson Thurston, the sophomore, like you mentioned, and he won this job in the offseason. That's what Coach said. He just came out and he kept working hard at it. Got a great arm when he throws the football. People notice, and it's going to be fun to watch him evolve over the next couple years here for De La Salle.
Baseball guy as well, and yeah, had to earn that job in camp, and here we are. So De La Salle going right to left, or left to right across your TV screen. It's a run to the left, and the gain by it's Zach Wagner, the tight end, that gets the carry, the first carry, not the guy we had in our bingo card, the Central Michigan commit.
Well, that's why you run that play, right? Catch them off guard, little tight end sweep.
So second down after a short gain on the play. Thurston in the gun. Inside, handoff, fake, throw, right side, caught by number 16. That's Zach Wagner. So 2 quick catches for Wagner. And wrapped up by your impact player, Kamari Patterson. Third down.
You know, it's always fun when you bring up a guy's name and he makes you right early in the game. And there you see Kamari Patterson with a great closing speed coming right at him.
Third down and 7. In the gun, Grayson. Back to pass, curl route, caught, first down and more. It's grabbed by Jackson Turr, their big 6'4", 200-pound receiver, and it moves the chains for the Pilots, 1st and 10.
Yeah, and a great curl route by Jackson Turr. You could tell they were kind of playing off of him, and he was able to just turn around, wide open, great timing route. That's one of those things that you practice over and over and over to where you don't even have to think.
He'll mark the ball at the 31-yard line. 2 wide receivers to the left. That's Turr, the top target, wide left. It's an inside give on the sweep to King, and he's tripped up immediately by this Eaglet defense, a defense that returned 10 out of 11 starters from a year ago. Big expectations for them defensively.
Yeah, and there you see Kamari Patterson doing it again, shedding a block, turning his man back inside, and able to make the tackle. Being able to do all 3 of those things on one play is why he's going to go play D1 ball.
That's right. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10. 4 wide receivers for Grayson Thurston. He'll set the running back to his right. That's Michael Walker, the senior. Back to pass, pressure, steps up, throws, caught on an in route. Caught at the 45-yard line. That's a first down, and that's Vince Battanti out of the backfield with a nice squaring catch.
Yeah, and here you get just nice timing. 1, 2, 3, steps into it, and a nice gun. That's a baseball throw right over the middle for an easy first down for De La Salle.
And Dan Roan this week, Stick, when he talked to us, he said he just throws that ball that the receivers love to catch. And as a guy that I know used to be a receiver, you can relate to that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thing. Like some guys throw it a little too hard. The spiral's a little bit different, a little bit wobbly. When it's right there on point all the time, makes your life a lot easier.
Going to try the middle with Walker, the senior running back. Not much on the gain. It'll set up 2nd down and long. It's a 2-man running back offense, really. But Michael Walker, a guy that really needs some touches to get going. But, Stick, he's got some dynamic playmaking ability.
Yeah, you said it. He's got to get the touches. Once he gets into the rhythm of the game, he's almost untouchable.
Had a productive day last week in Davison on the road, nearly upsetting or beating Davison. Out route, and that is incomplete. Timing thrown off. They were looking for King again. 3rd down and long.
Yeah, Case Campbell and Brandon Adams putting on the pressure on that play, forcing that incomplete pass. Just forcing him to his right, and that's tough to throw when you're a right-handed quarterback running to your left to throw it back across your body.
Third and 5 for De La Salle. 3rd and 8, rather. 2 to the right, 2 to the left. Lone tailback behind Grayson Thurston is Michael Walker. Back to pass, curl route, and that is caught. Immediately dropped. But he gets up to the 45-yard line, and that's enough for a first down. Move the chains. De La Salle with an efficient opening drive stick.
Well, it's the second time they've run that curl route and the second time they've gotten a first down. So, I mean, St. Mary's is probably going to start pressing up a little bit more on that coverage because you cannot allow them to eat you up all day long.
First down and 10 from the St. Mary's 45. De La Salle with an efficient drive thus far. And Grayson Thurston 4 of 5 in the air for 36 yards. Pretty efficient so far. Got that quick release. Motion. Handoff. King again. Trying the right side. Spins it up. And is stopped by Pruitt and a host of eaglets. But not before he powers across the 40 down to the 39. This methodical drive is working against the defending state champions who lost just one player from a year ago on that dynamic defense.
And we're getting the first look at some offense in the dirt, Chad. Some infield offense going on for De La Salle right now. And honestly, this can help the offense more because it's almost like playing in snow. And you know where you're going. The defense has got to react, so their footing is not going to be as sure.
When you think of stadiums like that, the old baseball to football, what places do you think of?
Oakland, immediately.
Right, right.
And when we used to play DePorres back in the day.
No doubt. Play action. Thurston looking slot left. Got a man caught. It's Wagner again. He's down to the 20-yard line. And the drive continues. This is a pickup of 21 for the Central Michigan commit, Wagner.
Well, that's exactly why you get the big fella in the mix early. And now you see him just over the seam. Nice pitch and catch. This spread offense is giving St. Mary's some issues.
Tackled by DJ Taylor, the safety. And so the Pilots have the Eaglets on their heels quite a bit. They've come out throwing the football. 5 of 6 is Thurston now for 57 yards. He's going to keep it himself, and he's not going very far. Tripped up by number 4, Ryan Harrington, the guy they call Slim Reaper, and the Wake Forest commit. You like that one, huh?
6'5". What does he weigh? 215. Yeah, that's a great nickname.
Slim Reaper. It is a good one.
And on that play, tackled for no gain at all. We talked about it earlier. If you're going to have to kick a field goal, you want to be on the left hash mark here as well. That's where the grass is. You don't want your kicker kicking off the dirt.
Right. We'll see if they try to work their way to that left side. Here comes motion left to right. That's James Larimer. In trouble, Thurston, and down he goes. It's Slim Reaper again with a haunting sack to the 28. Back-to-back plays for the Defensive Player of the Year a season ago.
Yeah, going 89-90 Pistons back-to-back, making huge plays. That time, a tackle for a big loss, a 6-yard loss. And, you know, you talked about it. They may have been working their way back to that hash, trying to draw a play that way, but the Slim Reaper with the sledgehammer at the end.
And it is a new offensive line, and you know, they got some guys back, and Thomas and Medlock, but the other one, 3 new starters for this offensive line. Against the St. Mary's defensive front, it's been pretty stout. 3rd and 15 from that left hash that Stick mentioned is dirt free. Back to pass, 3-step drop, out route is incomplete. He was trying for Wagner in the slot, and it was well covered by B.J. Adams, the Division I recruited linebacker. And we will see Dan Roan's decision here, Stick.
Yeah, that sack kind of put him out of field goal range. I mean, he said he'd put his kicker out there 9 times out of 10. He believes he's going to make it, and it looks like they're going to go for it. This would be, what, a 34-yard field goal or 42-yard field goal? Something like that.
It'll be the exact field goal attempt distance that he missed.
But he's in the grass.
But he's in the grass, so that should help. The field goal posts are kind of funny looking.
They're portable.
They're portable.
Effective.
So, this is Jackson Turr, the wide receiver / kicker, to attempt it from the 42-yard line to try to put the first points on the board. Hold by King, and that is an offsides. Yep. The Eaglets a little too premature from Lorenzo Barber from that left edge. That'll cost him.
Well, the good news is for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, that's not a first down. Bad news is, obviously, it moves him 5 yards closer, and the kick's a little bit easier for him to make. You may want to run that hard count again.
So make it a 37-yarder from the 27-yard line out of the hold of Damian King IV. And the kick is up, and the kick is no good. Wide right. The Eaglets hold, and the 37-yard field goal is missed.
That is a huge stand for the Orchard Lake St. Mary's defense. That big sack by the Slim Reaper pushed them back out of field goal range, and De La Salle was just moving the ball up and down the field. 6 minutes, time of possession, all to come away with a goose egg. That's a tough blow for Dan Roan.
And, you know, you want to get that nasty taste out of your mouth from the final play last week. It was a missed field goal, and then you start this drive. And, I mean, it's got to eat at the offense a little bit, but you certainly got to take note of what they did offensively on the drive.
Yeah, well, you know, and you asked Dan Roan in our interview what he said to the kicker coming off the field after that, and he said, look, buddy, I'm going to come to you 9 times out of 10, and I know you're going to make it 9 times out of 10. You just got to keep the confidence going because you can't run him out there with any doubt in his head.
Yeah. And you get him an attempt early in the game, you know, maybe get some of that.
Wagner, one stop.
Man, look at the size of the Orchard Lake St. Mary's offensive line.
It's a big one. They've got an offensive front that's huge. Greg Smith, 5'10", 300 in the middle. Abram Marcial, 6'5", 320 to his right. We'll meet them all here shortly. Turn, play action. Looking deep. Jabin Gonzalez going to step up, spin, and run into trouble. Well covered down the field, and De La Salle gets a tackle for loss. And we've got some chippiness already and a flag already.
Yeah, Jabin Gonzalez, if you remember last year against De La Salle, had 2 untimely fumbles. This possession starts off, he's trying to do a little bit too much. I thought he had some single coverage up top and could have taken a shot down the field. But there you see a little bit of extra action right there by number 16, Zach Wagner.
Yeah, and that will... So Alex Lefebvre, your official tonight, just like he was last year. And they're going to get St. Mary's for 15 yards. So this will put the Eaglets in a second and 26.
That's what you call a retaliation penalty. I know all too well, Chad. The second man always gets caught. Swear I didn't do it first.
Oh, man. Chad Willis, the bottom of the screen. Barber in the slot right. Both Division I offered. Angelo Chapman at the top. It's Gonzalez going to run it left side, and there's nothing home. Swallowed up quickly by Batanti, a name we're going to call quite a bit tonight. It's the Princeton commit, Anthony Batanti.
Yeah, and Orchard Lake St. Mary's said they were going to run Jabin Gonzalez a little bit more tonight. There you see a designed quarterback run going absolutely nowhere. De La Salle's defense has come out with their hair on fire.
You bet. So third down and 25.
De La Salle's safeties are within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. You think they'd be a little bit deeper.
Right.
See if they drop on the snap.
3rd and 20. Gonzalez dumps it and throws it low. No chance, really, for the Eaglets' Chad Willis to catch it. Well defended by Jaden Davies. And the Eaglets with a disappointing start to their offensive set thanks to the De La Salle defense.
Yeah, Davies, I think gets a finger on this right here. Drops it down sidearm, and there you go. Davies knocking it down so they couldn't get their wide receiver screen. But yeah, De La Salle's defense coming out with a statement early here.
It'll be Luke Jackson to punt it away. And it'll be Angelo Chapman to snap it. Jackson also doubles as the linebacker. He'll punt it from his own goal line. End over end. King is back. That one's going to take a St. Mary's roll into De La Salle territory. And they'll end up getting it right at midfield.
Yeah, big St. Mary's bounce coming off the dirt. You know, that ground's going to kick a little bit more than some grass will. So here we go. We can see if De La Salle comes back out with the same game plan. You know, when you script those first early drives, it's all good coaching, all good scouting. But then once you get into the flow of the game, it's a whole different ball game. We'll see what adjustments Dan Roan makes, or if he had to make any adjustments off that first drive.
Yeah, I mean, the only adjustments are the plays that got him behind the sticks, the quarterback run and the sack.
Yeah.
Other than that, they threw the ball effectively. 5 of 7 for 55 for the sophomore Grayson Thurston. Little razzle-dazzle, triple reverse, throw back, and it's a bust. There's a late flag, probably a face mask, but this was a trick play that went awry for the Pilots, but they might make out with some progress.
Yeah, there you go. You come out with a little razzle-dazzle, like you said, trying to throw St. Mary's off. And when you're playing a defense with the athletes like an Orchard Lake St. Mary's has, you want them to over-pursue. Here you're going to get a look at it. Handoff, reverse, flea flicker. And
too much time against that defense.
Yeah, trying to see where that flag came in. Face mask.
Yeah. First down.
On St. Mary's.
So the Eaglets with some penalties early that have cost them 2 15-yard variety penalties. And in a game like this, Dick, I mean, that's going to catch up with you at some point.
Yeah, and we were coming into this game, you know, what I mentioned in the pregame, De La Salle is the one that had to play with composure, the ones that couldn't lose their cool, and they've done a great job to this point, frustrating Orchard Lake St. Mary's. We're, what, 8 minutes into this game and 2 personal fouls already.
Yeah. De La Salle 1-1 on the year, had an opening week wipeout win against Hamtramck, but a big test last week against Davison, played well up there, but lost by 2. It's a young team, lots of young guys, tough schedule. They need to do the little things right, Dan Rohn says, to win. That's Michael Walker, who was blasted by our impact player, Kamari Patterson, and that's why Stick featured him in the open.
Yeah, the impact being the key word. This kid plays downhill. I mean, a credit to the St. Mary's defensive end for able to hold up the running back. But then Kamari Patterson just comes in and absolutely clears house.
Vicious hit for the future Bronco of Western Michigan. So 2nd down and 9 from the 35-yard line. Second time the Pilots have been in Eaglet territory, and there's pressure and a sack. It's the defensive end, Gage Nesson, the Division II offered defensive end, benefiting from the Grim Reapers left side vacating.
Well, that's the thing. And now you got to kind of pick your poison if you're De La Salle. Who are you going to key on to block? Who are you going to chip? Who are you going to send your tight end over? Because you can't leave either of these young men alone. Both of them, 6'4", 6'5", 215, just swallowing up the quarterback.
Yeah. So 3rd down and 15. 3 minutes to go in the opening quarter. No score. It's blitz at the ballpark. A banger, a CHSL rivalry classic. Play action, pressure from the backside, and Thurston's in trouble again. Down he goes at the 45-yard line. It's more heat coming, and it's more of the Slim Reaper and Trajan Gibson, the Division I offer defensive tackle.
It seems like everybody you mentioned on St. Mary's defense is a Division I, Division II, and they play together really well. Like you said, they lose 1 starter last year.
DJ White, a big one. He's at Michigan State now, but certainly.
There you see just the pocket collapsing, not enough time to get that ball off, and Orchard Lake St. Mary's finding their rhythm on defense.
Jackson Turr will punt it, and he'll punt it cleanly. High hanger, spiral. And that's going to hit, and that's going to roll, and that's going to be a wonderful special teams play. But it's a touchback. So they're going to, ooh, that's a tough call.
How was that a touchback? Just because it crossed the line?
I don't know.
Because he was out of the end zone when he leaped.
He was. Let's see if his foot, well, this is the replay, and that's a wonderful view. That's a missed call, because that is the play of the game so far.
Yeah, that ball should be down at the 4-yard line. Vince Batanti.
Unbelievable play. How about Vince Batanti? Older brother Anthony. So here comes St. Mary's for their second offensive series. The first series was shut down by De La Salle. We'll see how the Eaglets, who want to give Jabin Gonzalez a little more freedom to run the football in this offense.
Yeah, but I think that's got to come off of establishing the run or getting him in rhythm with short passing. Like, you don't want to force something like that. It's a part of his game, but you don't want to make it all of his game.
Jamari Given checks in, and we've got a pre-snap penalty. And the Eaglets have just picked up another penalty in this game. It's been infested with penalties so far. That's their 4th.
Yeah, 4th for, what would that be? Almost
39
40 yards, yeah. St. Mary's coming out here a little excited. You know, it's a rivalry game. It means something to them. They haven't won in 4 years. These kids have never seen a victory against the Pilots. So maybe they're just trying a little bit too hard, pressing early.
Late substitution coming off the field is Jamari Given. Eaglets will check back in with Kamari Patterson, who, why not give that guy a couple more touches? The up back for the Eaglets is DJ Taylor. Another pre-snap penalty in this game.
St. Mary's linemen were pointing across the way, but I think that's going to be against De La Salle. Another false start. You know, this is something early on in Jermaine Gonzalez's tenure that you saw with the Orchard Lake St. Mary's Eaglets. He's been able to kind of clean it up over the past 3 years, resulting in a state championship.
What a turnaround last year is Jabin Gonzalez, the quarterback, as you see featured. Play action, Jabin, there's pressure, gets out of it, gonna run right side and gonna get popped at the 3-yard line. Crunched by Drew Buhana, the safety, and that's got the Pilots fired up.
Yeah, and once again, I thought Jabin Gonzalez had a chance to take a couple deep shots down the field as wide receivers got behind the cornerback, but he's deciding to look down. Great pressure right there by number 15, Jaden Davies, once again making a big play. But man, Buhana came in and cleared that up.
He did. Here's the old wing tee, handoff, Kamari Patterson, and he'll get maybe a yard before he's trapped in there. And the Eaglets have just had nothing so far in this game productive offensively.
Yeah, I think they're minus 60 yards on the game so far. And what do you do here? I mean, maybe a screen pass, maybe a draw play.
Quarterback sneak.
You think so?
Yep.
I mean, I'm a big fan of it's 0-0. Bomb one. Try it. You got the athletes. Let's do a jump ball. But I don't think that's going to happen.
Nick Merlo is the second-year offensive coordinator. Handoff right side, and the Eaglets will get their best offensive gainer of the day on a 6-yard run. Ball carriers number 21, Cameron Glasker, their number 4 running back, and it's punting time for the Eaglets again.
Man, even Kamari Patterson, though, is a lead blocker. Hit about 3 guys on that play. That guy just loves football. And St. Mary's big offensive line, we talked about it, the biggest they've ever had. Not able to move De La Salle right now.
Timeout from Jimmy John's Field. Let's go to the second quarter. We're back with more from Blitz at the ballpark. We're scoreless. The store is set up. He's got the order, and he's off. It's a full court press. These brands are knocking it out of the park. This, my friends, is the speed we've come to expect from this team. Just look at the precision of that move. And it's out of here. Back at the ballpark. Let's go down to the field to our on-field reporter, Charlotte Turbrock.
Thanks, Chad. For this Orchard Lake St. Mary's football program, it is quite the family affair. Head coach Jermaine Gonzalez was a 2000 grad, and he won a state title at St. Mary's. He now coaches his son, Jabin, who is the starting quarterback. His middle child is on the JV team, Caleb, and his youngest is in 7th grade. Jermaine's brother, James, is also the running back coach, and his wife works in the school's development office. For the Gonzalez family, Orchard Lake St. Mary's is very much so home. Chad, back to you.
It is certainly a legacy family. Thank you very much, Charlotte. We appreciate that. And the Gonzalez's proud Eaglets through and through. Return left side, and De La Salle's going to have starting field position in plus territory again for the second time in this game.
Yeah, well, they earned it. I mean, that first drive has kind of set the tone of where the field position has been so far in this first half. And if you're De La Salle, you just want to kind of complete a drive here. You've been able to move the ball. You know, rushing the ball has been kind of an issue for you, but you're 5 of 7 for 52 yards. Maybe keep that going, just some easy completions.
For De La Salle, it's 16 plays, 52 yards in the first quarter. For St. Mary's, it's been 5 plays and 1 yard. can't be right.
No, it's negative 21.
Yeah, okay.
But here's one nuance, though. No more dirt in play on their offensive possession.
Zach Wagner again, tight end in the loose, wide open territory. And he fights down to the 12-yard line before Buhana makes the tackle. But Zach Wagner's been a focal point of this offense, running and receiving.
Yeah, that's how they started the game. A little tight end sweep, and here, hand it to the big fella. Look at this big guy once you get him going. I would not want to try to dive at those legs either. Keeps churning, keeps burning all the way down to the 10-yard line.
Wagner also part of the baseball team, Dan Cimini, whose club won the Catholic League Central Division last year out of nowhere. Good to see Dan and Amanda before the ball game. And Wagner does little baseball as well. Here's Batanti, the Wildcat quarterback in the ball game. He's going to run it left side, and he's swallowed up quickly. Not much of a gain. It was number 9 for St. Mary's, not Case Campbell, the guy listed on the roster. He's a freshman quarterback. We don't have a number for him, but a fine play by, I believe, Kyrie Williams. We've got a player down for De La Salle. And while that player is down and gets attended to, we'll step aside. So with the opening minute gone by in the second quarter, no score, nothing solved. Thanks for watching. We're The Prep. Back with more after this.
De La Salle, there's just something that sets it apart. There's a feeling, there's a growth, there's the idea of the builders of boys, makers of men.
They understand that it's a prep school and they're treating it like it's college, which, I mean, I have felt like I could take on anything and I'd be ready to go because how well I've been prepped being here.
You know, De La Salle, it's a staple of Metro Detroit. You know, the Christian brothers really have the, I guess, recipe book for how to make a true man. It's great to see, it's great to experience. Just look at the students now, look at the students in the past, look at a lot of the prominent people, especially on our walls that you see. There's so many different things, and that's a true reflection.
My time to shine, he took over. He got it, splash!
And that will put some gauze on it.
Saw they were having a lot of fun, dishing it off to each other. Dunks were happening, just a good time.
So that was Zach Wagner getting helped off the field. We don't know the injury, but we know he's been a big part of this offense. So second down and goal from the 11. Looking right, slant, caught, short gain. It was Damian King, the fourth, the Ferris State commit, and the impact player that Stick highlighted in the open.
Yeah, they're leaving Cameron Glasker alone on the edge on him, and he was just able to run a nice little slant pass and catch it sliding down.
So third down, or make it second down and goal to go from the 4. Left side, King tries it outside, not the right call. Swallowed up by Cameron Glasker, the corner, who was out there on that island again, and he couldn't shake loose. Third down and 4.
Yeah, great pressure by St. Mary's front line there, kind of pushing the line of scrimmage back about 5 yards into the backfield, making it almost impossible for De La Salle to get going.
We've got another game going on. We'll get some updates on. It's Howell hosting Northville.
Got an illegal procedure call against De La Salle. Looks like this, or an illegal shift. So that's going to move it back to the 9-yard line. It was declined. Fourth down.
So we're waiting to see Dan Roan's decision, and it will be a field goal attempt, we think. And so Tur will come back out there and try to stop that streak of 2 straight misses going back to last week.
Try to kick it into the St. Mary's student section out there.
Yeah.
Right behind the goalpost.
Look at the students out there. Everybody's coming over saying, hey, we're going to get that rock.
Right.
The kicking ball comes into play, and Jackson Tur will try to knock this through. It will be a 25-yard field goal attempt from the left hash. Kick is up, and the kick is good. Blasted into the woods. Somebody go get that pigskin. 3-0 De La Salle, 9:44 to go. The short field was taken advantage of, Stick, in just 2 minutes of play.
Yeah, a big run by their big tight end, Zach Wagner, got him all the way down to about the 5-yard line, and they kind of flamed out a little bit, but that time much better. Hey, points on the board. They got the lead against Orchard Lake St. Mary's, and St. Mary's has only averaged negative 10 yards per possession.
That is the kind of start that Dan Roan envisioned with his defense, and it is a defense, it's a good one, and has been for a while under Brandon Bush. He was the only holdover from the old staff. And he says, look, Bush is just a guy that gets the guys mentally ready to play, and he's a guy that we had to keep, and he's paid his worth.
Any relation?
No relation. No nepotism in this broadcast. No, sir. But he said, look, playing assignment football is going to be big against Orchard Lake St. Mary's. I'd say so far, I mean, they've done everything technically and assignment right.
Yeah, they're playing fundamentally sound football. No penalties has been the main thing because, you look at Orchard Lake St. Mary's and their penalties, 69 yards already in this game. And then you look over at De La Salle, 0 penalties for 0 yards.
How about it? So Turr, who's had a busy night already, boots it down. And it's taken down at the 5. Watch out. Reese Hurst returned one for a touchdown last year. This is open field. One man to beat. Lorenzo Barber all the way across the 40 to the 43. And this is an area where St. Mary's feels they have an advantage. Special teams.
Well, that was a big play right there. St. Mary's is just dying for any positivity to happen on the offensive side of the football. But I got to give credit to Jackson Turr. You kick the ball and you make the tackle in a big way. He was not backing down.
He's a big boy.
That's the difference between pro kickers and high school kickers, right?
Remember Sebastian Janikowski?
He was a
Speaking
big fella
of the
too.
Oakland field?
Yeah, there you
He'd
go.
come down and stick a guy. Oh, man. 44-yard line for the Eaglets is where they will start. Run up the middle. And St. Mary's gets some productivity up the gut with a big burst coming from number 15, DJ Taylor, the sophomore. There's the offensive line with Michael King, the new starter at the left tackle. Future's bright for King. Johnny Kolarczyk, an Ivy League recruit. Greg Smith Jr., Abram Marcial, and Brian Matthews, the new transfer who transferred in from Chicago. There's a run for Jabin Gonzalez on first down, and it looks like the Eaglets have found something offensively, Stick.
Yeah, Chad Willis blocking on the outside, one of the wide receivers for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. As you get a look at DJ Taylor, Angelo Chapman, Lorenzo Barber, and, of course, Brandon Adams rounding up the tight end position.
Gonzalez in the gun, hands off inside, power ahead, short gain, maybe 3 or 4 up to the 40-yard line. But the Eaglets are in plus territory for the first time tonight in northern Macomb County.
Well, that's what we talked about, Chad. They had a nice run, and that's where you build your quarterback run off of. That's where you start, kind of stacking things on top of each other. But it's all got to come from the run for Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
Gibbon has been the top rusher coming in, 13 rushes for 78 yards and a touchdown. The Eaglets have had big wipeout wins in their first 2 games. Third down, inside handoff, it's DJ Taylor, and he scoots close to the first down and beyond it. Extra effort by the 10th grader, DJ Taylor. Got him a first down. DJ Taylor moved the sticks.
And I don't know if that was a design delayed handoff, but it looks like he was making a last-minute decision to put it in the gut and let him go.
Tempo is a part of this offense as well, and right now the Eaglets in hurry-up mode. Turn, give, handoff, right side, behind the Mammoth right side, and a drag job for a first down and more! That is Jabari Given, the 5'11 fire-plugged sophomore. And these 2 10th graders are making a statement on the ground.
And if you watch the Orchard Lake St. Mary's sideline during that play, they all look like a group of buffalo just running down the field, getting excited. That gets people fired up.
No time to waste, no time for a replay. On the move are the Eaglets. Same guy, and he is stuffed this time. And that is who else but Tonti, number 9, coming up to make that stick. The senior, along with Buhana. The defensive starters for the Pilots. It's Cartwright, Burgess, Stevenson, and Davies up front. Davies has disrupted a lot already tonight. The backers are really good with Batanti, Toko, and Buhana, and the back end is strong as well with King the Fourth, Joey Marasco, David Williams, and DeAndre Mapp Jr. (3-0) De La Salle. Eaglets trying for their first points against this stingy Pilot defense. Jabin looking right side, out of the backfield. DJ Taylor has some room. 10, 5, and fights forward to the 2-yard line before the touchdown-saving tackle by Joey Marasco, and the Eaglets are on the move in hurry-up mode.
Yeah, Lorenzo Barber with a great downfield block, springing Taylor too, able to get that first down. And now St. Mary's, the whole playbook's open. This is where you may want to call your quarterback draw.
First and goal from the 2. Jabin Gonzalez going to take it in himself. Touchdown, Eaglets. Tried it up the middle, broke the tackle, and burst through. It's 6-3 St. Mary's on the board in their third series.
And I'm going to go back to it. It all started with the very first play on that drive. A nice run right up the middle. Got St. Mary's going, got him in some rhythm. And there you go. Put 2 lead blockers in front of that young man behind that big front line. And you're almost guaranteed 4 yards every single time.
Gonzalez with over 1,000 yards passing last year and 15 touchdowns.
And part-time work.
And part-time work, no doubt. So far this year, it's been pretty efficient on the ground. 14 for 103 with 2 touchdowns. That's his third. Here comes the extra point by the sophomore Beckett Kiefer. Out of the hole to Taylor. The kick is up, and the kick is good. So, with 6:59 to go until halftime, it's 7-3 Orchard Lake St. Mary's over De La Salle. Blitz at the ballpark in the CHSL rivalry as we continue on Gridiron Game Day.
All right, this is Adam. Take 2. Mark? I guess. I go like this.
The best part about playing football in Texas has to be the reaction from the community.
I want to encourage others to play volleyball or choir because you get to experience new things and do stuff that you've never done before. My reason why is passion.
My reason why is pride.
Seven plays, 56 yards, 2 minutes and 45 seconds. And in the end zone is Jabin Gonzalez for the third time this year. And it's 7-3. St. Mary's in the lead now with 7 to go.
Yeah, De La Salle, now is the time to respond. I mean, you've gotten into the red zone a couple times. You've sputtered out. You only have 3 points to show for absolutely dominating this first half. And now you find yourself down. We'll see how De La Salle responds. A little pooch kick here.
Pooch kick indeed. It's taken by the up man. That's Campbell. Campbell into the open field up to the 39-yard line before he's taken down by the Eaglets. Max Mercino, the junior.
Yeah, I thought he had a shred of daylight there. It looked like he had a couple blockers in front of him, and that was going to be a monster return. Still a nice return, though. I mean, De La Salle's starting field position has been around the 50-yard line all game long.
They have. Great field position, except for that first opening drive. It's been average of about the 40 to 50-yard line every time.
That's where you want to be.
Yep.
6 of 8 passing.
Grayson Thurston, the 10th grader. A lot of 10th graders in this game making a name for themselves here in prime time. Swing to the right side, caught out of bounds. That's Michael Walker out of the backfield. Quickly wrapped up by the Eaglets' Luke Jackson, their Division I offered middle linebacker, who really came to life last year out of nowhere. Everybody's like, who's this Luke Jackson kid? Then all of a sudden he got a couple offers, and he's one of the 20 Eaglets that have offers already.
That's one of the good things about playing at each of these programs. There's scouts around. You have a good game, you're going to get noticed.
Yeah, that was a gain of 5. Thurston in the gun. Motion King, 2 to the left, play action, swing left, got a man caught. That's King, flag down into open field, and he's tripped up by Kareem Pruitt, the commit from UMass, and this one's coming back due to a hold.
Yeah, great job by Kareem Pruitt coming in and taking out the legs and doing a little up and under, but you got a holding call out there on Vince Batanti.
So that'll move it back, and penalties, of course, the bugaboo for St. Mary's. This is the first penalty of the game for De La Salle. The Eaglets with 5 penalties for 69 yards.
Yeah, and that's a tough time for that penalty, though, for De La Salle, right? I mean, you have a nice first down play. You're on schedule. You can run anything on second down. Now you're sitting here at 2nd and 15.
That's the offensive line. It's the big boys up front. Susette, Thomas, Pulowski, Huskin, and Matlock. And then the backs and receivers, ultra talented with Michael Walker, who you've seen tonight. Damian King IV, a Ferris State commit. Jackson Turr, the stud receiver and kicker. Vince Batanti and Zach Wagner, the Central Michigan commit and tight end that has yet to come back in this game. 2nd down and 15, motion left to right, 6.5 to go from blitz at the ballpark at Jimmy John's Field in Utica. Pressure from the backside and heat, and down he goes. Luke Jackson on the middle linebacker blitz has the Eaglets' 3rd tackle for loss in this game.
Well, they don't call it blitz at the ballpark for nothing. You got to back the 2nd and 15. What do? You dial up the blitz, and you said, hey, this guy kind of came out of nowhere. And that's exactly how De La Salle's feeling right now. Where did he come from? Shed the block, track him down like a lion and a gazelle in the wild, Chad.
That's it. So 3rd and forever. They got to get to Van Dyke to get a first down. Turr wide left. It'll be King wide right. Slot right, Batanti. Perhaps the draw in order here to Walker. Throw right side, caught, tackle for loss again. Back to the 25-yard line. Maybe a gain of a couple. It's Reese Hurst, that slot corner that was hunting. He's a Grand Valley State commit.
Yeah, that's the thing. You try to get the big fellas out there for a screen pass, but the little guy's able to go underneath them, beat the blocker trying to get him, number 36, and able to make the tackle.
So the Eaglets will send Lorenzo Barber back deep. Turr back to punt with his heels resting on his own 11. Eaglets +4, 4:59 to go. Pressure and blocked! Blocked by the Eaglets, picked up Reese Hurst, touchdown, OLSM! It was blocked by Keith Smith II, and it was Reese Hurst who was first to the end zone. Special teams key in this game, Stick, and already the Eaglets showing out.
Yeah, special teams sparked him on the last drive, and special teams sparks him here. Just speed getting to him, a little bit of taking your time, and a great block by Keith Smith II, wide receiver, defensive back. And there you go, Reese Hurst, back-to-back nice plays for Reese Hurst there, tracking him down for the sack, and then getting a nice pickup and a touchdown for St. Mary's.
So the blocked kick and the return, and Reese Hurst, who had a 99-yard touchdown kickoff return in the game last year for St. Mary's, makes his impact again on special teams.
Maybe we should have named him the impact player.
Could be the G. Extra point up and good. So with 4:50 left, we'll step aside from Utica, Michigan. The Eaglets have rattled off 14 straight and now lead it by 11. At Foodie Centric, our client's agenda is our first priority. We specialize in unique items that are memorable and drive profits to your bottom line immediately. From gluten-free exclusive items to specialty Palazzolo gelato, melting moments, ice cream sandwiches, and so much more. Foodie Centric Solutions will have you set for success today, tomorrow, and into the future. Foodie-centric solutions at the center of all of what's important to get to your last goal. Chad Bush, Sam Stigday, Charlotte Turbrock is down on the field. Alex Westfall, your executive producer, and Beckett Kiefer about to boot it off. St. Mary's has rattled off 14 straight on a 14-0 run. Kiefer's kick is taken by King at the 13. Nice little sidestep. Watch out. King will explode to the 40 before he's blasted from behind. But the theme continues. De La Salle's starting field position is going to be strong once again.
Well, that was almost impact player on impact player action right there, but Kamari Patterson flying down the field absolutely whiffed on King the fourth, and he was able to watch this right here as Chris Berman say, whoop, right by you, and almost broke that one for a big gain.
Tackle by Caden Blankenberg, reserve wide receiver and defensive back. So, big drive for De La Salle. What you've seen them in many different facets. What can work for them?
The short passes really work for them.
Yeah.
The timing routes, the slants, the curls, right there. Well, the wide receiver lost his footing. That's the first time we've seen the gravel or the sand or the dirt, whatever you want to call it, come into play. But he could not turn around on that route, and it caused him to slip. And those little things right now are huge for De La Salle.
Team that was getting productive first and second down plays here, a little misstep.
Yeah, see if we can get a look at the wide receiver. See, he's already slipping, trying to come out of that break. Now, and another thing that's hurting De La Salle right now is the absence of Zach Wagner.
That's right. Inside handoff to the guy that replaced Wagner on that play. And that is Colin McAnally. Brady Bullock on the carry. Tackle by Luke Jackson again. There's the Eaglets defensive line. You talked about Harrington, a Wake Forest commit, Trajan Gibson, the D tackle. Kyrie Williams, who's wearing number 9 tonight. Gage Nesson, number 23, the defensive end. And the linebackers, Luke Jackson, Ryan Fresquez, and Brett Buchanek. And the talented back end as well for the Eaglets, as we've got a timeout on the field. We'll keep it here with 4:04 to go, a big 3rd and 7 coming up. There's the DBs with Cameron Glasker and Reese Hurst at the corners, and then the talented safeties with Kareem Pruitt and Kamari Patterson. It's just a complete defense for St. Mary's, but early on it certainly had them on. They were on their heels with this De La Salle offense.
Yeah, and honestly, De La Salle was able to move the ball up and down the field. They've been pretty efficient passing the ball, 8 of 11 for the game. Now, it's just, unfortunately for them, it's only for 64 yards.
Yep.
That's where you need to get it going. But if you can do that, I mean, we saw it, honestly, the Lions versus the Green Bay Packers week 1. Jared Goff just got taken what was in front of him. And if you can do that, you got to be able to complete it. Once you get in the red zone, you got to score touchdowns.
Yep. 3rd down and 7 from the right hash. Back to pass, left side, caught, try in the middle of the defense, nothing home, blasted by Kamari Patterson. And that is a hop, skip, and jump for his buddy Reese Hurst to come over and greet him.
He's almost like a heat-seeking missile just coming down from that strong safety position, and boom, you see Patterson coming. You already saw the runner just kind of, this is going to hurt.
72 tackles last year for Patterson, all Catholic, 2nd team All-State, 4 forced fumbles, and 5 pass breakups. Punting time again for Tur. Says, get that sheet out of here.
Now, I will say this for Patterson, as strong as he is, you're going to have to start wrapping up at the next level, just coming in and laying the shoulder. You'll start bouncing off some people.
The punt is protected better here. This is a heated rivalry, and in this ball game, of course, this being the 34th meeting all-time, St. Mary's leads the all-time series 19-14, but De La Salle's won 4 straight and 6 of the last 7. St. Mary's has won 6 straight. They won from 93 to 2003. And Dan Roan, 4-0 against OLSM.
Well, St. Mary's is able to find their rhythm last offensive possession. It's going to be interesting to see what Jermaine Gonzalez dials up here coming out. It's kind of everything's open for you, but the run you established really started you out on that last drive, but empty backfield. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Just one passing attempt so far. We'll see how the Eaglets probe this De La Salle defense here. 1st and 10 from the 25. Jabin looking, pressure, looking long. Down the middle of the field, got a man wide open, caught. Could go. 10-5, touchdown DJ Taylor. Wide open down the middle of the field, and they found the super sophomore for the long bomb connection, 75 yards unofficially.
Yeah, it took Jabin a little while to see it, but he not only had one down the field in Taylor, he had number 11, Brandon Adams Jr., running with him too. Watch this. When this ball's floating in the air, there's 2 wide receivers absolutely wide open for St. Mary's right by each other. And you know what? Just to be a good friend, number 11, Brandon Adams Jr., his little crackback block just to make sure he doesn't get tackled on his way. But 2 St. Mary's players wide open on that play.
Extra point attempt coming. The Eaglets, who trailed 3-0 to start this game, come back with a bang and a bomb to DJ Taylor. Extra point is up and good. 75-yard touchdown pass from Gonzalez to Taylor to make it a 21-3 on the first play of the drive.
Yeah, there you go. It's been open a couple times, but here you see 2 St. Mary's players running down the field. Jabin took his option. Number 15, DJ Taylor, all the way into the end zone. St. Mary's up 21-3.
Do you want your school's games on the Prep? Well, find out how by contacting us today at info@theprepsports.com. We're now booking for the winter and spring sports seasons, and we've got some openings that remain in the fall for football, girls volleyball, and boys soccer. Take your school and program to the next level by elevating the game with The Prep. So the Eaglets do it by air, and Gonzalez with his second toss of the night finds a streaking sophomore down the middle of the field for a touchdown in the name of DJ Taylor.
One play, 75 yards, 13 seconds.
It's been some quick hits by St. Mary's, and now De La Salle kind of against it. 2.5 to go stick. I mean, they've got to show some production on this drive.
Yeah, and St. Mary's has been pretty dialed in, and now that you're in a very predictable pass offense, St. Mary's going to dial up the blitz at the ballpark, expect to see a lot of action here on this drive. And with your De La Salle, you know, maybe you try a screen pass or something underneath that blitz package just to start off this drive and see what you can do. Because you need to get something completed, you need to get something positive going.
You also have, of course, Batanti, but he's more of the wildcat quarterback. And, I mean, you know, maybe you throw a wrinkle in and put him in before he gets into the 10-yard or 15-yard range.
It's just tough now to get him space and open and time for the quarterback to throw.
So from his own 20, Thurston looking right, in route, caught. Damian King the fourth. And he's dragged down at the 50-yard line. All the way down the field, Kyrie Williams and King slow to get up, but a big play in the passing game here.
Yeah, nice timing route. Great spacing right through the Orchard Lake St. Mary's defense. And there you see that young man trying to get going all the way out to almost the 50-yard line. Did come up a little bit hobbled. He's staying on the field, though.
47-yard line is where they'll mark it officially with 2:17 to go. In the gun, Grayson Thurston. Back, pressure, Harrington's got him again. Third time tonight, Ryan Harrington with a haul down all the way back to the 41-yard line.
Well, first he had the sledgehammer celebration. That one, I don't know if that was the home run swing or the golf swing, but either way, he is getting massive pressure. Hardly a hand on him and taking down the quarterback with the ease.
This is where that offensive line starting to really question where they're at. You got a young line on the ropes like this.
Well, and like I said, they're a one-dimensional offense right now, right? St. Mary's able to pin their ears back. Defensive ends are crashing. We're going to start sending blitzes. It gets tougher as you become more predictable.
2nd down and 20 from the 41. Motion left to right. Thurston back to pass. Throws over the middle, got a man caught and dropped immediately. Kareem Pruitt. And De La Salle wants a flag. Dan Roan is on the field. The catch was made by James Larimer, and he falls off the field. He was decked by Kareem Pruitt, and Dan Roan wanted a flag, and it looks like he got one late after he bargained for it.
Yeah, I don't know. That looked like a pretty clean hit, and I didn't think he was defenseless. He had a couple steps going, too. Look at 1, 2, shoulder right to the...
Yeah, it looked bad, but it looked clean.
I mean, that's a clean football hit.
And by bad, I mean it looked like he got him above, but he really did not. But Roan got the call, and that'll set De La Salle up inside territory.
Yeah, in real time, the official, that's a tough call. We get the benefit of replay. You see, he led with his shoulder, just left shoulder down right to the chest. That's a football play.
It is. No replay, of course, so that won't be challenged. But nonetheless, De La Salle with a fine play. They've come back with that pass game, as you suggested, and they've made some money the last few plays.
Well, and it's been that kind of skinny post on both their successful routes. So if they can get the timing down, it's really just giving their quarterback, Thurston, enough time to be able to throw.
It's been a thing. Under a minute to go. The clock continues to tick, 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 and now a timeout is called on the field. So that's the first timeout, and that's Orchard Lake St. Mary's who calls it. 55 seconds left. Charlotte Turbrock will talk to a head coach. I don't want to predict who she's going to talk to. You never know.
Dan Roan is hot right now. I would love to get that interview going into halftime.
Perhaps. Maybe she'll talk to Jermaine. I don't know. But both coaches will get a chat at half, and we'll get some thoughts. But, yeah, Dan Roan upset about that. But, I mean, really, they got the call. So.
Well, you know, you're also trying to fire up your team, too, right?
That's right.
You want to show them that, hey, guys, if I'm in this engaged, you guys better get engaged in this game, too, or there's going to be a couple more big hits. But De La Salle here, if they can put up some points before the half, you know, you go down, you're into halftime, down 11. It's still a ball game coming out.
Party in the USA. Oh, the themes. Great crowd on hand. You see the fans behind there getting ready for some kind of a score.
Man, what a cool experience.
Really is. All 3 timeouts remain for De La Salle, who's on the move. 26-yard line is where they're at. Pressure from behind, and the ball is loose, and St. Mary's has recovered. The Eaglets recover. Gage Nesson recovered the football, and it was Luke Jackson who forced the fumble. How about it? The Eaglets with their second turnover forced tonight.
And I talked about it, protecting Thurston, giving him enough time. And at the very end, number 13 comes in. That's Trajan Gibson, and it forces the fumble. And then a recovery. Big time for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. And they still have 48 seconds on the clock. And their last possession was 13 seconds. They were able to go 75 yards. So I would expect Jermaine Gonzalez to open it up right here.
Why not? 48 seconds to go. He's got 2 of his 3 timeouts remaining. They'll mark it officially at the 32-yard line. Left hash, Gonzalez will run it himself, run up the middle, has a little bit of room, breaks a tackle, stays on his feet, watch out. He could go. Gonzalez, open field. They'll never get him. Touchdown, Eaglets. 68-yard run for Jermaine Gonzalez, or Jabin Gonzalez, rather, his son. 27-3 OLSM.
Hey, wearing that number 1 and running for 60 yards like that, You can call him whatever Gonzalez you want because they both did it in a St. Mary's uniform. Here you get the draw right up the middle. That was his touchdown run, and my goodness, the truck stick and then the speed to deliver the rest. And that's a great time to call that quarterback draw. You know the defense is going to be playing back. They're expecting the long bomb, so you're going to get at least 8 yards before your first contact. And Javen Gonzalez just showing off his strength, his speed, and his intensity on that touchdown.
Oh, the power and the pop to withstand and still have a burst like that. We heard about the legs of Gonzalez, and the rumors were not wrong.
They said they were going to unleash him a little bit. I think he's doing it a lot of bit. But it came within the flow of the game. I think that's what's most important for St. Mary's if they're going to be using him as a dual threat quarterback, not to force it.
Beckett Kiefer out of the hold of DJ Taylor, and that's up, and that is good. So with 35 seconds left until the second quarter, it's Orchard Lake St. Mary's now with a 28-3 lead over De La Salle.
Their last two possessions totaling 33 seconds and 2 touchdowns. But there you go, just an absolute truck job, then a sidestep, then the rest of the way. It's just running all the way to the house, a great angle. And look at how fired up he gets when he gets into the end zone. That was a big run for Javen Gonzalez. Don't forget, like I said, 2 fumbles last year. This is his first time being a full starter, and they've never beaten De La Salle. That's a big run.
And talking with the St. Mary's folks and Nick Murillo, the offensive coordinator, he said, look, Javen Gonzalez has the maturity of a 30-year-old. Things do not rattle him. I asked him about the turnovers last year against De La Salle. He said, look, this is like a grown man. It's like talking to his dad. Very composed, very mature, understands the game, grew up with the game. He gets all those things. He's unscathed by any type of things that come his way, any objections.
Well, I mean, the first 2 drives for Orchard Lake St. Mary's were a lot to overcome. And you see this by the end of the half, putting up 28 points after almost not participating in the first quarter.
Gonzalez now with 5 rushes for 80 yards in the game, 2 touchdown runs. And St. Mary's all of a sudden offensively have 200 yards on 14 plays. They had negative yards.
Negative 21 on their first 2 drives.
Negative 21 at the end of the first quarter. So it's been a 220-yard turnaround for the Eaglets here in the second.
If they were to keep that up, they're almost on pace for 1,000 yards. But De La Salle with a chance here. You want a big return. It's going into the end zone, not going to allow that.
So Kiefer's kick is solid one, and we'll see how De La Salle finishes their first half. Dan Roan will talk with Charlotte Turbrock coming up at the start of halftime, and we'll talk to Jermaine Gonzalez on the back end of halftime as well. Scores, stats, highlights, and much, much more. Pat the Stat Bush and Jamie Janssen working very hard up here in the Jimmy John's press box, getting us some numbers and some good information. We'll pass those along at halftime. We'll also pass along some highlights of that Northville Howell game going on the prep. Thanks for joining us wherever you are tonight. NFHS, YouTube channel for De La Salle. Handoff left side, Micah Walker, and he will run it out across the 30 to the 33-yard line. It'll be a gain of 13, and De La Salle with 3 timeouts, not in any hurry.
Yeah, nice little draw action right up the middle, kind of similar to what St. Mary's did with Javen Gonzalez, just not able to break that.
Looking right, looking deep, Damian King being held, and he caught it anyway. Flag on the play in coverage. It was Pruitt along with Reese Hurst, but there's a flag. And we know what the flag is, but Kareem Pruitt is hurt. He'll hustle off.
Yeah, there you saw Reese Hurst just all over his wide receiver, pretty much from 5 yards down the field, and a great adjustment by Damian King to bring that in. The senior looking strong out there. And De La Salle's had success on that corner.
30-yard gain on the play.
Saw Kareem Pruitt kind of limp off, though.
They're going to take the penalty. Is that right?
I think this tacks on to the end of the play.
How? Was holding, so they will add on? Okay, 34-yard line. They'll mark it at the 34-yard line. "13 seconds left. De La Salle has all 3 timeouts. Thurston from behind, and he fumbled again. Forced fumble, ball loose. And who has it? St. Mary's has it. Alex Lefebvre says so. And the Eaglets have forced their 3rd turnover tonight with a strip sack.
Yeah, it is tough sledding for Thurston back there. That big defensive line for Orchard Lake St. Mary's absolutely teeing off. And that time, another strip sack from behind. Going to have to protect the ball if you're De La Salle. You got to feel this pressure coming. See it right there. Who got their hand on it?
Harrington. It was Harrington again.
Was that Harrington again?
Yes.
Number 4. And here you go, Orchard Lake St. Mary's. What do they do now? You maybe throw a jump ball? I mean, you're playing with house money essentially at this point. You don't want to give De La Salle any momentum, but even if they do return an interception, you're up 18 going into half. It looks like they're going to just down the ball.
That indeed they will. So with 6 seconds left, the Eaglets, who've rattled off 4 straight touchdowns after trailing 3-0, will go to the break feeling pretty good. Meanwhile, De La Salle, who's won 4 straight in this series, has to recollect and get some things together. Charlotte Turbrock is going to get Dan Roan's thoughts. Let's go down to the field to Charlotte Turbrock, who's standing by with Dan Roan. We'll go down in a short minute.
Yeah, if you're De La Salle, it's a tough first half because you've been able to move the ball. You know, you've looked pretty good. 12 of 15 when you are passing. 177 yards you put up in the first half.
Let's go down on the field to Charlotte Turbrock standing by with Dan Roan.
Thanks, Chad. Coach, you guys were back and forth in the first, came out hot in the second quarter, marched right down the field. What are your thoughts on the first half?
You know, we're not finishing drives and we're throwing the ball too much, so we got some issues. We got to fix them. You know, we're also playing really flat, and now they've gotten aggressive, and that's a bad thing for us.
What is going to be the message to these guys going into the second half?
You got to play with some passion, you got to play with some energy, and right now we're not doing either one. And if we don't do that, it's going to be a long night. It's already been a long first half, and we got to protect our young quarterback and put him in a position where he can make throws so our athletes can make plays.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Chad, back to you.
Thanks a lot, Charlotte. Appreciate that very much. Well said, Stick.
I mean, it was everything that we've been talking about. Listen, you know, if St. Mary's can pin their ears back like this, it's going to be tough. We're passing the ball too much. We're one-dimensional. And then we got to complete drives when we get into the red zone. They do that. They put up a couple of those early touchdowns. This is a completely different ball game for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. And, you know, De La Salle, they can make the adjustments. This game is not over, but it's going to be a tall mountain to climb here in the second half.
All right, more to come in halftime. Stats, highlights, and much, much more. We're coming back with more. Don't go anywhere. This is The Prep. The store is set up. He's got the order, and he's off. It's a full court press. These brands are knocking it out of the park. This, my friends, is the speed we've come to expect from this team. Just look at the precision of that move, and it's out of here.
Hi, I'm Nick DePonio, and this is HVAC.
The Steve and Kathy McShane STEM Innovation Center at De La Salle Collegiate may not officially open until October, but its impact is already being felt. Senior Gabe Enghauser is proof. This summer, he was selected to attend the elite Rice University Aerospace Academy, where he explored physics, orbital mechanics, and met real astronauts. Back home, he's working on a cutting-edge capstone project, designing a drone to detect and prevent forest fires, using resources that will soon be housed in De La Salle's new STEM Center.
What we were nominated for is our project which focuses on firefighting drones. And essentially what these drones are is that they go out, they spot areas that are at risk for forest fires, and then they identify a forest fire that's starting, an area that's extremely at risk for a forest fire, and then they notify these firefighting stations. They send out firefighters, and then from there we can prevent, slow down, and even completely stop forest fires from ever happening in said area.
From advanced tools and makerspace access to the high-tech anatomage table, the STEM Center is transforming how students learn and preparing them for ambitious futures in aerospace, medicine, and beyond.
Having access to the STEM Center for the capstone project is probably going to be one of the most pivotal things for our group. So we'll be able to prototype, we'll be able to 3D print, especially with the makerspace, of course. We'll be able to test materials that otherwise we wouldn't be able to do either by ourselves or really anywhere else.
Gabe's dream is to become an astronaut. And thanks to the support of Steve and Kathy McShane and the De La Salle alumni community, he and his classmates now have the resources to launch their futures sky high.
Without, definitely, Steve and Kathy McShane definitely had made this possible, and all of the alumni as well that had donated also make this possible. Without them, we obviously would not have the STEM Center that we're sitting in today. And with all of their support, students such as myself can obviously utilize these resources that schools may not otherwise have. So the fact that they pretty much donated all of this money so that we could have a STEM Center, and other alumni donated all this money, they pretty much gave to us so that we can give back to the world with our own knowledge and skills.
If you are looking for a life-changing workout experience, look no further than Pure Barre Novi. We are proud to help you achieve your fitness goals while joining a vibrant, supportive community that is over 300 women strong. Our classes are designed to strengthen and tone your entire body, and our teachers can help provide modifications for any fitness level. Find out more right now by calling 248-596-0002, visiting our website, following us on social media, or by coming to our studio right on Grand River Avenue in Novi. We can't wait to see you and help you achieve your fitness goals.
Parents Changing Spaces is a locally owned, free senior living referral and placement service. They help families who have loved ones that can no longer independently care for themselves find a place to live. They work with families across Southeast Michigan to find all types of senior housing, including assisted living, memory care, and residential care homes. In addition, if your loved one is in need of some assistance but not yet ready to make a move, they can provide guidance and resources for in-care home givers, physical and occupational therapy, transportation, and much more. Parents Changing Spaces service is complimentary and of no charge to you. Give them a call today, 844-772-7368, to learn how they can help your family.
Welcome aboard, pilots. This is your captain speaking. As we prepare for takeoff, I invite you to sit back, focus, and set your sights on the horizon. The 2025 season is fast approaching, and our engines are fueled with determination, teamwork, and the drive to soar higher than ever before.
You put that uniform on. You better come to work. We will be perfect in every aspect of the game.
All camp we've been talking about energy and effort. Energy and effort. Fly around, give me everything you have, every single one of you, 11 guys in every place. Fly around, light them up.
Love, Peace, and Threads Design Bar, a unique new fashion experience in downtown Milford. Get ready to elevate your style by stepping foot in their design shop. Love, Peace, and Threads Design Bar offers specialized collections of custom apparel. They've got custom denim jackets and sweatshirts to dresses and hats, and they've got a variety of options to choose from. Whether you're looking for a one-of-a-kind piece or you want to set a new fashion trend, their store has got you covered with endless customization options. But that's not all. Their design bar is also the perfect place for a fun and creative night out. And you can do a celebration, book a party, and bring the full experience. Gather your family or friends and design your own custom jacket, complete with patches and your own personal touches, and unleash your imagination and create something truly special with their hands-on design experience. Love, Peace, Threads Design Bar is more than just a store. It's a place where fashion meets creativity and community.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
Well, the state of Michigan and Brother Rice lost a hero this past week. Coach Fracassa passed away last weekend. Al Fracassa, a legendary coach, mentor of young men, just had a special, unique relationship with his players, did a little extra, did some real connecting, and he'll never be forgotten. Not only a Catholic League legend, coaching at Shrine and coaching at Brother Rice, but also a guy that played in the Catholic League, and this is a guy that made so many young men proud to be a part of Brother Rice.
Yeah, and it always goes beyond football with Coach Fracassa, right? You and I both played in a Catholic League school against him, and it was nothing but respect at all times of the product that he put on the field, how he coached his young men, and when you looked across the field and saw Brother Rice, you knew you were in for a showdown with a tough-nosed team, and that was all because of Coach Fracassa.
Al Fracassa, Coach Fracassa, will always remember him, and he will never be forgotten. The store is set up. He's got the order, and he's off. It's a full court press. These brands are knocking it out of the park. This, my friends, is the speed we've come to expect from this team. Just look at the precision of that move, and it's out of here.
My name is Emery Jackson. I chose to just join the esports team because I like to play games.
I decided to join this program because I seen it was a fun program and I like playing the game. So
I chose to enroll in this program because one, I already play video games a lot at home, and then two, Mr. C, our coach, he really helped me a lot. Told me if you want to join, I can make it happen.
My favorite part is the community and the competition.
Excel to a point where I can actually get a scholarship, and it actually helped me with my communicative skills. Being able to communicate well with the team even under like stressful situations, and then a lot of like camaraderie, a good like team effort.
If you have interest in esports, and even if you don't, and you just want to try something new, it's definitely worth it.
Just stay on your work and continue to be great with pilots.
Lowering the shoulder.
Swing and a miss. McKinley scores! St. Mary's on top, 28-3. Let's go down on the field to Charlotte Turbrock, standing by with the head coach whose team is leading in this one.
Thanks, Chad. Coach, in the first, you're trailing 3-0, scored 28 points in the second quarter. What was the biggest adjustment you saw from the first to the second?
Well, we had some errors on offense, blocking assignments, and like our defense is playing lights out right now. They're playing tough. They've been caught in some tough positions that they got us out of with no touchdowns, and offense, start clicking a little bit. So,
what was the main message going into the second half?
Finished. Job not done yet. That's been our motto the whole time. Just not getting complacent and just finish 4 quarters of football.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, thank you.
Chad, back to you.
All right, some highlights and stats to get to in this first half of play, Stick, and it was a first half that the Eaglets came and put on some points in the second quarter, but it was all De La Salle in the first.
Yeah, De La Salle early and often. There you see that baseball throw by Thurston across the middle to number 11, Vance Patani, and then a big number 16. He was working early, but St. Mary's defense started to get rolling, and that man right there had himself, Ryan Harrington, a big first half, and they just could not prevent St. Mary's from pinning their ears back and starting to go get them. Here you get a nice little play by De La Salle right up, and this was pretty much got them down to their closest. That is Wagner. Shortly after that, though, he went out of the game, and De La Salle was able to get on the board. Then the big blocked punt, returned by Reese Hurst there for about 10 yards. St. Mary's 7-3, I believe, at that point, and that's where St. Mary's just started rolling on this play. Javen Gonzalez had 2 guys wide open. DJ Taylor taking it all the way in for the touchdown. And then the very next possession for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, Javen Gonzalez got it going again after a big strip sack fumble by Mr. Harrington, the Slim Reaper they call him. And then another one coming in by number 13, Trajan Gibston right there. St. Mary's had it all working, and then here it is, the big truck stick right there. Get out of my way, whoop, past you. And now my speed's gonna take me all the way to the end zone. The Javen Gonzalez show started in the second quarter, and it was phenomenal to watch if you're an Orchard Lake St. Mary's fan.
68-yard scamper after he ran through a defender, and then Stick yet another forced fumble by Harrington.
Yeah, 2 turnovers for De La Salle on those strip sacks, and then another blocked punt for St. Mary's. Special teams making way, defense making way, offense looking good. All 3 facets clicking for Orchard Lake.
Possession time in this game is a bit lopsided as Reese Hurst takes the return up to the 27-yard line. 29 minutes to 4.5 minutes, the time of possession in this game, favoring De La Salle.
Yeah, well, St. Mary's scored on 2 one-play possessions, so 13 seconds and I believe 20 seconds on the other play. 33
and the special
seconds,
teams.
And the special team score. So, that's what? That's 21 points coming in maybe 30, 40 seconds.
Yeah. It's a penalty on De La Salle.
Looks like a holding. They're going to bring him back.
And so, well,
personal foul.
St. Mary's. So they pointed the wrong direction the first time. Now they got it the right way. And that'll back St. Mary's up into their own territory. And that's kind of how things have been for them when they've had the ball on offense.
That's exactly how the game started for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. A couple of personal fouls, putting them behind the sticks. This one, it starts your whole drive, so you get a free, fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10, but not the way St. Mary's wanted to come out here in this second half.
So Gonzalez, who made some money on the ground, scored his 3rd and 4th touchdowns of the year on the ground. Handoff DJ Taylor running behind that big left side. And big number 77 for the Eaglets, Abe Marcial, whose father was the center for Jermaine Gonzalez when they were Eaglets.
Yeah, John Marcial, great all-state player, I believe.
He was. 2nd down and 8 for the Eaglets. Just a gain of 2nd down and 6, rather. Scoreboard's wrong. Gonzalez in the gun on the right hash with DJ Taylor, who has a touchdown on a reception. Play action over the middle, caught, watch out. Eaglets on the run. B.J. Adams, the tight end, is into pilot territory at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, J.R. Campbell saving a touchdown there for De La Salle, making the big tackle late. But here you go, just a little play action seam pass right over the middle. And Adams could have had a touchdown on DJ Taylor's one. But you know what? This time they wanted to feed the big man over the middle.
A little sharing of the wealth from the 45-yard line. Pass over the middle, got another man, it's Barber. Barber, they'll never get him. Touchdown, Eaglets. Lorenzo Barber from 45 yards out. Touchdown, Eaglets. And the route is on in the blitz.
You know, early in the game, we mentioned that St. Mary's receivers were getting behind the defenders. Just Jamin Gonzalez wasn't pulling the trigger. He wasn't seeing it early enough. On that play, perfect timing, perfect anticipation, able to lead the wide receiver and all the way in for a St. Mary's touchdown. Look at the timing. 1, 2, 3, hit my back foot, deliver a strike for a touchdown.
45-yard toss, and it's been that seam route for 3 of those big gainers. Beckett Kiefer's extra point is blasted into the Eaglet student section, and it's now a 35-3 lead for Orchard Lake St. Mary's.
And that is how you want to come out. You know, forget about that personal foul right on the kickoff. Jamin Gonzalez, 45 yards, and never even touched till he crosses the goal line.
Barber, a big-time player, guy that has multiple offers as well, and a guy that really has been their leading receiver coming into this ball game, as he has 10 catches for 218 yards and 3 touchdowns. That's his 4th of the year. And the Eaglets, I mean, so many weapons they have not even touched yet, Stick. Chad Willis, their top-rated offensive player, hasn't had a catch. Angelo Chapman has not had a catch. I mean, all kinds of things that tell you that St. Mary's has multiple weapons, including at that quarterback position.
Yeah, 4 for 4. I mean, they've only passed the ball 4 times, but they have 176 yards in those 4 passes. And I believe 3 touchdowns?
That's right.
But once again, St. Mary's not adding to their time of possession. Only 1 minute and 12 seconds on that one.
Yeah, another one. Damian King, the 4th, trying to get something going for De La Salle. I mean, you look at this, Stick. I mean, St. Mary's, of course, coming off the strong state championship last year, but this is a team that had it out for De La Salle. They've been beaten down the last 4 years. Winless, the longest winless stretch of the series in this rivalry.
As you get a look at the other game on the prep between Howell and Northville, 3-0 in the 3rd quarter. But yeah, no, we were kind of talking just with Jermaine Gonzalez. This is the type of offense that he envisioned running at Orchard Lake St. Mary's. He wanted to evolve it. He wanted to bring and get good athletes that wanted to come here and have fun playing football, just throwing the ball down the field, motion, you know, dual threat quarterback action. Because, you know, when Jermaine played for St. Mary's, George Port, 7 state championships, but it was more of a wing T type offense. Weren't really letting the ball fly around the field. So I think for Jermaine, this is a lot of fun for him to envision what he could have been like in this offense for St. Mary's.
That's a very interesting point. And as much of the success that George Port had with his state
Can't
titles.
knock 7 state titles.
You can't knock it, but you can certainly tell the story that the offense was very conservative, and it worked. But guys that were skill guys like Jermaine and like others and like myself, like guys wanted the football. And in that offense, I mean, you're just not going to see it as a receiver. And as a quarterback, you're just not going to throw it. So
I think Deion Sims is probably the prime example of that. If you remember him at Orchard Lake St. Mary's, he went to Michigan State, ended up playing for the Miami Dolphins. But Bobby Bowden was recruiting him and couldn't find film of him catching a football.
They said, go get him in practice. Just show him catching a ball in practice. That's all we need to offer him.
So, yeah,
they did.
I mean, that's the type of offense St. Mary's was running. This is a little bit different. Honestly, in the history of Orchard Lake St. Mary's, I don't think you've seen them put up this many yards passing in this amount of time. 4 completions for 180 yards. Pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, meanwhile, De La Salle has been very efficient with the pass as well in this game. I mean, 12 of 15 for 136 yards.
Yeah, but what doesn't show up on that is the 12 of 15 is the sacks, right? Those are big strip sack fumbles that are coming when he is dropping back to pass. And then you look at the average play, 18 yards of play for St. Mary's, 5 yards of play for De La Salle.
Per pass, yeah, no doubt. And so those are gaudy numbers and telling numbers. Pass is thrown up in the air and broken up in a fine play by Glasker, who was out there defending against the 6'4" Jackson Turr. Not too shabby for Glasker at 6 foot.
Now, Glasker getting underneath him there, but I thought Turr was going to come down with that. He looked like he could have high-pointed that ball. But there you go, just a little bit underthrown. It's just been a little bit off for De La Salle.
So Turr has to go back and punt. I mean, this is a busy young man. Punting, kicking. They do have another kicker in McAnally, the freshman Colin. He actually got them the onside kick last week and gave them a chance against Davison. So some nice depth at the kicker position as well. The punt is down to the Eaglets' 45-yard line, and that's where they will set up shop for their second drive of the second half.
Well, Dan Roan was talking about intensity on the sideline, how to get his team fired up. I mean, maybe you start dialing up some blitzes, hope to force St. Mary's into a turnover. You got to kind of start playing a little bit. I mean, the first 2 drives, they came out with their hair on fire, making it almost impossible for St. Mary's.
We've got a highlight coming at you, and here it is. It's Howell on the board with a touchdown run up the gut and into the end zone. So Howell takes their first lead. St. Mary's back at it with a football on the run. It's Jamari Given, the fullback, and he's got another big gasher up the gut.
Got to reward the fullback with a little sugar every now and then. Give him a carry, and here he is straight at you. Once again, the lead block by Marcial, number 77, and he is just tough to bring down in the open field.
8:45 to go. They'll mark it at the 22-yard line. Back to pass, right side, curl route caught. It's Barber again, makes a move and dances his way into the end zone for an Eaglet touchdown. 22-yard touchdown pass. And there is a flag down, and it is coming back. Holding on Orchard Lake St. Mary's, but that can't take away the little whoop that Barber just busted on the defender.
Man, Barber is feeling himself so far here in the second half. Just a nice little out route, then the rest all on him. 1 guy, nope. 2 guys, nope. 3 guys, 4 guys, not going to matter. I'm getting in the end zone. But a holding call brings it all back.
My bad. That was Chad Willis, number 5, not number 6.
Did look like a 6.
That. Sure did.
Chad Willis putting on a show.
His first catch of the night. We mentioned he hadn't been a storyline yet. Willis, a Power 4 recruit, just a junior. So 1st and 20 now for Orchard Lake St. Mary's. They'll bring the football all the way back to the 32-yard line. It's been Gonzalez the entire way. Case Campbell is his backup, the freshman. We may find some minutes here if things continue. Jamari Givens up the middle, and they will never get him. Touchdown, Eaglets.
Just following the big fellas straight up the middle. I mean, that's what got him down there, so why not give it to the hot hand? There you see it, just Javen Gonzalez turning around, and I don't even know, he did get touched on the ankle right before he got into the end zone, but look at that blocking, look at that seam, and look at that speed and burst by Givem.
Power and explosive, a bullet through the hole is what Jermaine Gonzalez described him as.
Fair.
And the sophomores into the end zone to give the Eaglets their 42nd point tonight. 42-3 with 8:22 to go. It's a rout in northern Macomb County by the Eaglets, who are making a loud statement tonight.
If you are looking for a life-changing workout experience, look no further than Pure Barre Novi. We are proud to help you achieve your fitness goals while joining a vibrant, supportive community that is over 300 women strong. Our classes are designed to strengthen and tone your entire body, and our teachers can help provide modifications for any fitness level. Find out more right now by calling 248-596-0002, visiting our website, following us on social media, or by coming to our studio right on Grand River Avenue in Novi. We can't wait to see you and help you achieve your fitness goals.
Eaglets feeling cozy in Macomb County tonight. It did not start their way. It was 3-0 De La Salle going into the second quarter stick, but things have turned around since that point.
In the last 16 minutes, Orchard Lake St. Mary's has put up 42 points. 16 minutes of football, Chad.
And they've been quick points. And those can be deflating, just like a long, drawn-out series. Which one would you rather face if you're that defense being scored upon?
Well, it's honestly extra deflating for De La Salle because they've had those long, drawn-out, but they couldn't be able to score, and then to turn around and have a quick hitter right back at you.
Eaglets, 913 students, now a co-divisional school. Division II, they opted up. Last year, 11-3. 2-3. They finished, fourth in their league. Yet still won the state title. Fourth in the CHSL, there you see it. 9 state titles to their credit. 7 under George Porritt, 1 under Jermaine Gonzalez last year. Art Patty, shout out from the 79 team. And Scott Kolakowski, an alumni you should know, the Eaglets' proud former linebacker and All-American that played at Notre Dame, Philadelphia Eagles, and the Detroit Lions.
I call it intentional grounding. I mean, that internal clock for Thurston's got to be clicking pretty fast right about now. So they got him for intentional grounding on that one.
I mean, the routes, obviously the 3-step seems to be the route to choose if you got some heat like that. But the St. Mary's coverage has been a bit more complicated and complex.
Well, I guess they're calling rough in the passer. It looks like maybe a hand to the face mask there. I thought they were calling that intentional grounding, the signal that the ref put out there.
So it's another 15-yard penalty for the Eaglets. If there's been a bugaboo tonight, it's the penalties. That's their 9th penalty for 115 yards. De La Salle, meanwhile, very disciplined, just 1 penalty for 10 yards. Handoff left side. Outside running lane, no. Wrapped up by the Eaglets safety or outside linebacker Brett Bushenik. Somebody underrated and under-touted, but 5'10", $170, seems to always be in position to make the right play.
I mean, you want technical, great football right there. You know, the shed, the scrape, the scrape. You throw your defender off and you make the tackle. If you get a chance to look at him, look at extending the line of scrimmage, pushing his man off, and then making the tackle.
Guy who does his job every play. Tougher than a $2 steak, and going to throw that 170 pounds all around the football field. Under 7 minutes to go. De La Salle on the drive. 2nd down and 10. From their own 42-yard line. Grayson Thurston has showed that he's got some special talents. There's a quick hitter up the gut. It's carried by Nathan Bell, the reserve sophomore running back. Gain of about 5 on the play. It'll set up 3rd down and mid.
But I like that play for De La Salle, right? You're not going to be able to get 39 points back in one throw. So what you got to do is take what the defense is giving you. Nice little handoff up the middle. Now you have a manageable 3rd down. Pick up the 1st down.
4-down territory, perhaps. Eaglet shift, down low defensively. A pop coming from the outside, and guess who? It's Kamari Patterson again. But not before. It's a 1st down run by De La Salle. Move the chains, and they're now into Eaglet territory at the 49-yard line.
Well, it looks like they are waving him up. The down marker turned it to 4, and he was about a yard short. But Kamari Patterson, I think this is about the 3rd time this game. He just runs downhill and absolutely demolishes whatever's in front of him. As long as it's wearing purple, he is heat-seeking.
He is popping out on film tonight. And they're getting giddy over in Kalamazoo watching him. Curl route caught by Jackson Turd, using all 6'4" of that frame to snatch it on the sideline. Big time catch by number 7.
And that's been there for him all game long. Just that quick little 7-yard hitch route, turn around, quick timing.
Good coverage on the play by Glasker, but not much you can do against that premier athlete. And again, another strong throw by Grayson Thurston. And you see what they talk about when they're saying that he throws a ball that receivers like to catch.
And he's accurate.
Yeah. Ball is loose again, and the Eaglets say they have it, and they do. The 4th fumble recovery of the night for St. Mary's, and they get it back at the 40-yard line. Trajan Gibson, the D tackle who's been offered by almost every MAC school in the planet, forces this one.
Yeah, nothing going right for De La Salle right now. Just a bad exchange on the handoff. Bell never really got the ball. And 3, 4, 5 St. Mary's guys on the ground versus 2 De La Salle. St. Mary's going to come away with that every single time. And Jabin Gonzalez coming back out as the quarterback. You talked about maybe the freshman getting some playing time.
Eaglets will check in Brandon Hardy, one of the talented sophomores in the slot right. Watch for him. And Keith Smith II as well. Handoff goes back to Given. Given in the open field, and he's tackled in the open field, and it was a touchdown-saving tackle at that. Given exploding into the secondary for another chunky play.
Yeah, Jaden Mott, the freshman, making a great tackle in the open field. Didn't buy the okie doke and went right for the ankles.
So a 1st and 10. And the Eaglets will try the middle. Not much there. They'll mark him at the 28-yard line. Rushing yards for St. Mary's have been a thing. 167 yards on 16 carries. And a lot of the chunk yardage has come by way of Given. 5 carries for 74 yards. Gonzalez, of course, the lead getter with 5 rushes for 80 yards. And that 68-yard touchdown run that was impressive and notable. Throw over the middle, post route, caught. Touchdown, Eaglets. That's Jello. Angelo Chapman into the end zone. Touchdown, St. Mary's.
And it kind of feels like St. Mary's is playing 7-on-7 football out there right now. Another post route over the middle. It's been wide open all day. No over-the-top safety help for De La Salle. And there you see just great timing. Perfect pass right on the slant. And they gave him the touchdown.
Offered by Western Michigan. He's the big play guy. Angelo Chapman, very speedy and skilled. And Jermaine Gonzalez says he's kind of like our J-Mo, a freak athlete. That's his first catch of the night. And he makes a rude introduction into the northern Macomb County night. Gonzalez now 5 for 5.
209 yards.
Pretty good numbers. The efficiency rating gaudy. And here's another look at this strike, catch, and run.
Yeah, but there you see Javen not taking much time in that pocket. I mean, that's a 3-step drop, and the wide receiver's already 20 yards down the field. You talk about some speed, that is tough to cover.
So, this is something for St. Mary's. It's been an offense that has taken care of business so far this year, and we'll see how long the starters go. But, Stick, I mean, this is not something we expected this ball game to be all about.
No, you kind of expected St. Mary's to have a better showing against De La Salle, but anytime you get Catholic League rivals going at it, you never know what can happen. And I mean, yeah, like you said, I don't think any of us expected a 49-3 score 3 minutes before the fourth quarter. Let's check in on that Howell
Live looking. Northville comes back and takes the lead. Nice little post route over the middle, touchdown. Now 10-7 as the extra point was added. They're mid-fourth quarter, and Howell, Ben Holden, and Evan Stockton on the call with Maggie Mace.
And Fish.
And Fish is there too, sure. Well, De La Salle's been a proud program, and we mentioned how they've owned St. Mary's as of late. 992 private all-boys, Division III, 8-3 a year ago. The first time Dan Roan did not go to the state title game. Finished third in the CHSL. Lost to Groves in a very, very controversial regional championship that most thought really De La Salle should have won that game.
I forgot about that till you just brought it up.
5 state championships to their credit, last in 2022. But Dan Roan has had them there 4 times in his 5 years at De La Salle.
Yeah, that last second touchdown, was it called off? Is that what happened last year? I remember there being controversy.
He ran out of bounds. He ran out of bounds. The kid for
and there was the first to touch the ball when he came back
caught
in.
it, and it was a blown call. And it cost De La Salle a chance to play St. Mary's for the semifinal. St. Mary's would go on to win in overtime against that same Groves team.
Yeah.
Who put up a heck of an effort.
Noah Sanders and Gatch, who's now at Michigan.
That's right.
A strong team.
Yep. 90 seconds left here in the third. St. Mary's had an opening night win over Portage Northern, 41-0. They came back the second week in their first league game against St. John's Jesuit and won down in Ohio, 42-10. Tonight they lead 49-3. They'd given up 1 touchdown this year, and it was in, well, reserve time down in Ohio last week. Again, it's a defense that returns 10 of 11 from a year ago. This is a run by number 28, Nathan Bell, and he's forced out by Pruitt for St. Mary's.
And you saw Reese Hurst kind of a little bit gimpy on that play. See him walking towards us right here. It looks like coach is going to sub him out. Number 21 is coming in for Kareem Pruitt.
The starter.
It's Cameron Glasker. What a wealth of defensive backs. Oh no, you got to put in Glasker, who's played a great game today.
No doubt. It doesn't get any easier next week for De La Salle. They'll take on Toledo Central Catholic down in Toledo. A Toledo Central Catholic team that is staring at potentially being 0-4 if they lose tonight.
And they were looked at as one of the top 4 teams in all of Ohio.
0-4, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, there you saw it once again, Kareem Pruitt. And Jermaine Gonzalez is just dialing up the blitz from the safety position, letting him do some work right now. And he came down and crashed that run, able to make a big tackle. And there we go, the end of the third quarter, 49-3. Orchard Lake St. Mary's, their past 2 quarters, 49 points.
Lowering the shoulder. Swing and a miss. McGinley scores!
And it's going to be a challenge for us. I mean, they're a really talented football team. I think everybody knows that.
4 wide receivers. Pressure. Steps up. Marshall wants to run again. Cuts down the middle of the field. All alone. Touchdown! Warriors! What a cut.
As we enter the fourth quarter, let's go down on the field to the third member of our crew, Charlotte Turbrock. Charlotte.
Thanks, Chad. Dan Roan came to De La Salle after being at Grand Rapids West Catholic, where he built a powerhouse of a program. He is doing that same thing at De La Salle as he has taken them to multiple state championships. He also has never lost to Orchard Lake St. Mary's in his 5 years, and that streak is on the line here tonight. Fourth quarter coming up. Chad, back to you.
Thank you, Charlotte. Appreciate that. He has certainly built a power here on the east side of the state. Not many guys that can come to the east side of the state. He didn't have anybody in his Rolodex that he knew from the east side of the state. And the guy comes to De La Salle, a foreign land. They had some controversial things happening that he entered into, he inherited, and all he did was turn it around immediately and take him to a state title game. Unbelievable turnaround for Dan Roan and what he's done here. And thank you, Charlotte, for that report.
And sometimes programs get the right guy at the right time. I don't know if there's another guy at that time that could have done what Dan Roan did with that program.
And you have to credit the folks that hired him and made those decisions. So, running clock. And it's been a running clock in the second half. Since the Eaglets crossed that 35-point plateau. There's Dan Roan, 23rd year of coaching, 5th year at De La Salle, 52-12. Ferris State, West Catholic, Fremont. He went to Muskegon, Orchard View. Grand Valley guy. He's the COO at De La Salle and a 9-time state champion, 2 with De La Salle. 6-time state champion, 2 with De La Salle. And fun fact, he says he's a better at golf than Chad. Now listen, if somebody's gonna brag or somebody's gonna say they're good at something, they better not say they're better than me in golf. That doesn't mean you're good. Come on, Dan Roan. And he dodged me this year. I invited him out to Red Run. I said, let's go play. I saw him out there. No.
We saw him out there when we golfed.
We saw him out there. He's dodging us. We didn't get a chance.
I'm just proud of you for reading that. I thought you were going to skip over that on the graphic, but I'm glad you addressed it.
No, I'm going to address it. I want my tea time. We're going to get something going before October. But no, Dan Roan, one of the good ones. And
yeah, great guy. He's been very kind to the prep and us ever since the inception of this.
You bet. Curl route right side caught. It's King the fourth. He's forced out of bounds on that far sideline. And from where we're at, I mean, our stat crew and our graphics guy and you and I have got a challenge. I mean, we're looking from behind home plate in the corner of the end zone, and this play's going on in deep right field near the warning track.
Yeah, it's been a little bit different call for us today. Hi, everybody up in the booth. But, yeah, it's been a really cool view. You know, we got this kind of half angle. But how neat is it to see a baseball diamond on a football field, and just kind of reminds you of the backyard sandlot football growing up.
Yeah. A neat thing that Dan Roan brought here, he says we saw it a lot in West Michigan. There's an inside handoff and a shot up the right side near the goal line. Is he in? No, he's down at about the 1. But a good gainer by Nathan Bell, who's been running the football like he means it.
Yeah, but you were bringing it up. West Michigan does this a lot where the Whitecaps play.
Yep, third.
Well, it's now Lake Michigan Credit Union.
That's right. That's right.
But, whatever. They changed so much.
Handoff to Bell, and he is shut down immediately. Might have lost a yard back to the 2 or 3. Tackled by number 17, and that's Joshua Gonzalez, the backup linebacker and the junior who shot through that line first.
Yeah, 3 St. Mary's defenders just waiting to engulf that run.
Carry by Bell again. Good-looking sophomore. Clock is running. Don't forget, we'll have our G of the game. Brian Metallic got us a beautiful tent. Can we get a look at our new tent? Amazing tent he got us and hooked us up with. And then we've got a fresh selection of lids.
I think he sponsors a softball team in my league, too. They're called G Brand.
He does. More on that later. Play action, floater, back of the end zone, and it is a touchdown. Touchdown, Damian King, the 4th. He went up around 3 defenders and hauled it in. Big-time catch by the Ferris State commit.
Yeah, I mean, Damian King giving it his all this game. You can tell he's a little gassed right now, but my goodness, up and over 3 St. Mary's defenders. I thought this was going to be picked, but this is Kelvin Johnson style over 3 St. Mary's defenders and just pulls it down. And now you know what you get to do? You get to go hold.
That's it. He's got slow knee down. So a 4-yard touchdown pass from Grayson Thurston. It's the first touchdown of the ball game for De La Salle. And the clock is stopped for some reason. And the extra point is good. So a slip and fall after the kick, but count it for Colin McAnally. And here's another look at the
How does
touchdown
he come down
pass.
with this football?
I don't know.
There are 3 St. Mary's guys there. He just throws a jump ball.
Ripped it out of the hands of Boshenik. So
That's a highlight reel. You don't show the score in the highlight. You just put that on tape.
No doubt. So the extra point by Colin McAnally, whose father Chris was a punter at Clemson. There's the ring. There's the bling for the Eaglets. Both schools have a lot of bling to their credit, but the Eaglets got it last year, and these are the 2 championship teams in recent times in the Catholic League. You look at who's won titles lately, not Catholic Central, not Brother Rice, and not UAD. It's been De La Salle and Orchard Lake St. Mary's. There's the G-Brand tent. And the Eaglet cheerleaders finding it a nice little home in front of that tent. A little protection. Angelo, excuse me, that is Chad Willis on the return. Willis right side, watch out. Chad Willis might go. Chad Willis with one guy to beat on his feet, and he's tackled at the 18. Oh, what a return for Chad Willis, number 5.
Now that's kind of the only way they haven't scored today is on a kickoff return, and Chad Willis was looking to put an end to that. But there you see great lanes. He went all the way across the field, and you see him just reading his blocks. And, man, that speed that Willis has and the toughness. What an ankle tackle right there. I didn't get his number, but, man, he saved a big touchdown. 38 with the ankle tackle. That is Colin McNally.
That's the freshman kicker. And the young man who got that onside kick last week against Davison. Now this is the Eaglets freshman Case Campbell in the ball game.
Looks like either an illegal formation or the defense was lined up offsides. Let's see what the official has to say.
That's Jermaine Gonzalez in his 4th year, 21-15 overall, 15 years on the JV as a head coach. George Porritt gave him an opportunity, and boy, has he run with it. Class of 2000, state championship in football and basketball, and All-American in high school his senior year. Went to Michigan, played both sports. He's also the athletic director. And how about last year? State champion. Gonzalez, Jermaine, did it. In his 3rd year, brought it back to Orchard Lake, and he is a guru on the grill. Jermaine Gonzalez is. We want to test some of that.
I was going to say, Roan can challenge you. I'll challenge Jermaine on the grill.
Yeah,
Oh,
okay,
yeah.
okay. Well, sounds like a cook-off and a golf-off.
Let's do it.
And a goof-off. Inside handoff, it's Keith Smith II, and this is somebody to watch. This is a younger guy that, in that talented wide receiver room, is a big-time player. Brandon Hardy, another sophomore. There's Jermaine Gonzalez, and there's his brother James Gonzalez.
Boobay!
Yeah, that's his nickname, and you're allowed to call him that. You graduated with him.
He's a good guy, man.
Sure is.
He used to wear those James Worthy goggles when he'd play basketball.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah. High handles when he dribbled.
Got to get some footage of that. Campbell out of Holy Family, highly touted quarterback. He plays that 5th rule, so he plays JV and he plays on varsity, 5-quarter rule rather.
And it's good for him to get these in-game experiences too, especially with the type of offense that Orchard Lake St. Mary's wants to evolve into. For him being able to read and the spread, giving him a bunch of handoffs. Let's see if they let him throw one here near the end zone.
Campbell is the son of the former NFLer Mark Campbell, former University of Michigan, New Orleans Saint, Bishop Foley, Catholic Leaguer. He's now a wide receiver coach at St. Mary's.
Single coverage up top with no safety help. Maybe you look up there.
Campbell's got a chance. Gonna put it up on 3rd and 12. Got a man over the middle, and it's knocked away. There is a flag down. Fine defensive play by Vincent Dawson, the DB. And it's a hold on St. Mary's, and it's going to be declined. Here's another look at the Campbell toss.
Yeah, I thought he had a chance if he pulled the trigger right there, but just a little bit too much pressure forcing him to his right. And that ball kind of sailed on him a little bit.
Intended for Jaden Denham, the 5'11 senior wide receiver. So it'll be, I believe, 4th down. They will decline it. So it'll be 4th down and 12. And St. Mary's is going for it.
It'd be about a 38-yard field goal if they elected to go for it.
Sometimes you kick the field goal, and sometimes out of respect you don't, right? Almost as a team, you don't want to bury it in. You'd rather.
It depends on the outcome of the play,
Depends
right?
on the outcome of the play.
If this is a touchdown.
Or the design of the play.
Yeah, right.
Very true. Running clock continues. Campbell sends 2 to the right, 1 to the left. He's going to put it up. Campbell's looking for the end zone, looking for his man, Keith Smith, at the 1, knocked away. Fine defensive play. They were going for Hardy, and it was Jaden Mott with a defensive play that gets the Pilots back to football.
Yeah, and that's a couple times we've called Jaden Mott's name as a freshman. He is out here putting in work and putting in great defense right there on Brandon Hardy. You know, you see on the other side, you see King coming down with that jump ball, a mix 3. Hardy, you got to be strong hands right there and box out.
Perfect pass right in the basket. You see the crowd here and the stadium and the setup, and it is a cool thing. And Dan Rohn said this is an experience. We're trying to give young men experience, and it's been a neat thing.
Shout out to the ballpark for letting them play, too.
That's right. Shout out to Dana for making it happen. USPBL president Dana Schmidt. Handoff to Williams, and Williams going nowhere. Tackle by number 71, that's Dean Lewis, the D lineman. Jake Jablonski is now in at quarterback, the 10th grader. Under 3 minutes to go, Eaglets with nearly 100 points tonight in northern Macomb County.
And you wonder if Dan Rohn's going to let his underclassmen kind of let it loose and see if he can get some couple completions, something underneath them. You also see an 83 Datton Batts Jr. check into the game.
Curl route, out route caught, fine throw, snapped it off, and Gavin Bach makes the catch. He's a 9th grader. That'll be something he'll never forget.
That little curl route is a staple of this De La Salle offense. I mean, they've completed that at least 6 or 7 times tonight.
And that's the backup. So timing right with backups is always a good thing. Don't forget, we'll have our G of the game after this one's done. A lot of tough choices in this ball game. But one guy stands out a little more than another.
I see what you did there.
Timeout on the field. We'll take it with them. De La Salle timeout, 1:51 to go. Eaglets by 39 against their rival in the blitz at the ballpark. At Foodie Centric, our client's agenda is our first priority. We specialize in unique items that are memorable and drive profits to your bottom line immediately. From gluten-free exclusive items to specialty Palazzolo gelato, melting moments, ice cream sandwiches, and so much more. Foodie Centric Solutions will have you set for success today, tomorrow, and into the future. Foodie Centric Solutions at the center of all of what's important to get to your last goal. Chad Bush, Sam Stick Day back with you. Alex Westfall, your executive producer. Charlotte Turbrock is on the field as our sideline reporter. De La Salle into the open field. And after a solid gain, we've got some heated, flared up individuals. Brandon Johnson on the run, and we've got a highlight in Howell. What's going on there? In a 10-7 game with 12 seconds left, the Mustangs are in for the touchdown. How about it? 17-7, Northville knocks off Howell on the road. Bit of an upset in the KLAA West.
Big win for Northville.
A little split screen action. Alex Westfall showing off.
He told me he couldn't do it.
Well, and you trusted him after he said he couldn't do it? Jablonski's going to keep it himself, and he'll get about 5 as we crawl under a minute. In a game that did not start how it finished. 3-0 De La Salle at the end of the first quarter. 28 points for the Eaglets, though, in the second quarter. And they have not looked back since, with 3 touchdowns in the second half. And a late flag by Alex Lefebvre. And before this thing gets out of hand with some heated activity.
The old unsportsmanlike conduct. This is 44 seconds left in the game. De La Salle's got a second and about 21 coming up.
Next week for Orchard Lake St. Mary's, it's at Detroit Catholic Central.
That's going to be a good game.
At Detroit Catholic Central, it sure should. Jablonski, the quarterback's going to take off, put his head down, and get himself out of bounds after a healthy gain on 2nd and 25.
And it looks like that will be the last play of the game. De La Salle starting to walk towards middle field. Shake hands. Good game, good game, good game, good game, good game.
The Eaglets get revenge after losing 4 straight years to this De La Salle club. They come back tonight and hammer the Pilots 49-10 in a running clock second half to walk off with the win. We'll take a timeout. Stick and I'll come back. We'll have our G of the game. Charlotte will tell us who it is next. You're watching The Prep. Love, Peace, and Threads Design Bar, a unique new fashion experience in downtown Milford. Get ready to elevate your style by stepping foot in their design shop. Love, Peace, and Threads Design Bar offers specialized collections of custom apparel. They've got custom denim jackets and sweatshirts to dresses and hats, and they've got a variety of options to choose from. Whether you're looking for a one-of-a-kind piece or you want to set a new fashion trend, their store has got you covered with endless customization options. But that's not all. Their design bar is also the perfect place for a fun and creative night out. And you can do a celebration, book a party, and bring the full experience. Gather your family or friends and design your own custom jacket, complete with patches here. Buddy's Pizza at 13 Mile and Van Dyke brings that iconic Detroit-style square pie, crisp crust, bubbling cheese, and big flavor. Dine in with a family or take it home for the game. Ready to enjoy? Order at buddyspizza.com or swing by 13 Mile and Van Dyke in Warren. Buddy's Pizza, where great pizza fits the moment. Parents Changing Spaces is a locally owned, free senior living referral and placement service. They help families who have loved ones that can no longer independently care for themselves find a place to live. They work with families across Southeast Michigan to find all types of senior housing, including assisted living, memory care, and residential care homes. In addition, if your loved one is in need of some assistance but not yet ready to make a move, they can provide guidance and resources for in-care home givers, physical and occupational therapy, transportation, and much more. Parents Changing Spaces service is complimentary and of no charge to you. Give them a call today, 844-772-7368, to learn how they can help your family.
Brotherhood is the #1 thing at De La Salle. It's just one big family here.
De La Salle, there's just something that sets it apart. There's a feeling, there's a growth, there's the idea of the builders of boys, makers of men.
They understand that it's a prep school and they're treating it like it's college, which, I mean, I felt like I could take on anything and I'd be ready to go because how well I've been prepped being here.
Time now for our G of the game, and Charlotte Turbrock standing by with the clubhouse leader all night to be the G, and he certainly is. Charlotte?
Thanks, Chad. I am here with Jabin Gonzalez. He is our G of the game, sponsored by G-Brand USA. 209 yards, 3 touchdowns, 49 points on the board. What do you have to say about tonight's game?
I mean, we worked hard all week in practice, came out here, executed, did what we were supposed to do, and we moving on. We already on to next week, man. So.
Going into half, Coach talked a lot about finishing every play. And how do you think you guys did in the second half?
I think we did just execution. That's what he preached all halftime. So coming out here, being able to execute plays, like just simple run plays that was hitting for 30, 40 yards, it was great to see.
Catholic Central coming up next Friday on the 19th. What are some things you're going to be taking from this week's game into next week's?
Well, we got to, we preach 1-0, so we coming into practice, new week, new team, 1-0 mentality. So this is behind us, great win. We're going to celebrate tonight.
Best quarterback in the state. Nobody can compete with this guy. He's the best.
Hey, man. Hey, that's Chad. He a dog. But, yeah, we're going to come in, 1-0 mentality, and, yeah.
Congrats on the win. Thank you.
Thanks. Appreciate you. Thanks.
Chad, back to you.
All right. Yeah, that's Chad Willis coming in to break up the party a little bit, and everybody getting in on the fun tonight for St. Mary's Stick. And it all started with number 1, and it was not a fast start for him, a guy that struggled last year against De La Salle. But boy, did he come back with a vengeance in that 3rd or 4th series.
It really seemed like he settled in after that 3rd or 4th series. We talked early in the game that he was just kind of forcing it. He wasn't seeing the wide open wide receivers down the field. But once he got comfortable and started catching his rhythm, almost unstoppable. 5 for 5, 209 yards through the air. And oh yeah, don't forget about the 80 yards and 2 touchdowns rushing too. But there you see wide open St. Mary's wide receivers. That is DJ Taylor going on in for the touchdown. And St. Mary's just did not look back. I mean, Kareem Pruitt had a huge game. Kamari Patterson just going absolutely nuts on the defensive side of the ball. Ryan Harrington, the Slim Reaper, doing his thing. But look at that truck stick right there by Jabin Gonzalez. And then just the breakaway speed. You are not going to catch that young man once he gets out in the open. They said they were going to unleash the running game with Jabin Gonzalez, and that's exactly what they did tonight. I asked Chad, why are they putting it on tape tonight? What did they want to prove? And I think it was they just wanted to prove that De La Salle is a big rival, and they can finally get a win against them. And there you see another great pass over the middle to Brandon Adams Jr., 6'3", 215 tight end. And then yet another one. This is when it looked like I told you they were playing 7-on-7. Lorenzo Barber, a nice little post route right over the middle. They were just any way they wanted it tonight. 5 of 5 is what blows my mind. Only 5 pass attempts, but for 209 yards. And then the running game just started getting going. You see Jamari give him right there, straight up the middle. He had a couple nice runs, I think a 38-yarder. And then another fumble by De La Salle. St. Mary's defense all over it. I mean, they scored in every possible way. Block punt, almost a kickoff return, long passes, long runs, everybody touching the football. Even number 19, Angelo Chapman, right there getting into the end zone. This, still though, one of the greatest catches I've ever seen. Over 3 St. Mary's defenders. That is why Damian King was our impact player of the game, because we knew that big fella could make it happen. As you get a look at young Marcel going through the locker room.
That was the run through, and that was a lot. And 49 points for the Eaglets, 10 for De La Salle. And there you see the roundup of the stats. Pretty even on offense with the pass and the rush. And then, of course, the first downs for De La Salle. I mean, they chipped away that first drive, but the turnovers were key for De La Salle. And the penalties for St. Mary's, although they hurted them early, they did shut down and contain that, and it didn't hurt them beyond in this game.
No, St. Mary's, I mean, you look at the box score, 10 penalties for 120 yards. That does not look good, but about 85 of those were in the first quarter. So they cleaned it up. 2 penalties for 19 yards for De La Salle, which is something they wanted to concentrate in coming to this game. That's a positive they can take away.
And Grayson Thurston is another positive they can take away. A guy that threw the ball around, just a sophomore, an impressive showing for him. And then in the end, Damian King, the fourth, proved to have quite the gain as well in this contest with his big 70-yard gain. And how about Zach Wagner and his effect in the contest when he was playing, but when he left the field, Stick, you could tell the difference. The vibe changed.
It definitely shifted the way their offensive ran. I mean, he was running reverses on a couple big plays, catching the ball over the middle. So, yeah, him going down, I think, affected De La Salle in a way they weren't ready for.
All right, that means it's time to get out of here.
The wrap it up music.
Alex Westfall, your executive producer. Evan Westfall on replay. Rob Hunter on graphics. Matt Schwartz, the Schwarzenegger on audio. Riley Dittmer getting the nod in his second straight week. Brad the Boss Ross in his homeland feeling comfy on camera too. Daniel Higgins getting higgy with it in that far end zone, and Chris Armani Rose dialing up another gem from down on the field. How about Craig Patterson, CP3 on the parabola, Charlotte Turbrock on the sidelines, Pat the Stat Bush in the booth. Happy birthday to Pat the Stat Bush. In 3 days from now, he will turn 21. Again, blackjack for PB.
Plus 50.
Happy birthday, Poppy. Jamie Janssen doing great work as always. My man, my partner to my right, Sam Stick Day on color commentary, Charlotte Turbrock on the field. My name is Chad Bush saying so long from Jimmy John's Field in Utica, Michigan. Your final score tonight, St. Mary's wins it 49-10 to go to 3-0 on the year, number 1 in the state in Division II. De La Salle takes the loss. They fall to 1-2 on the season. We're back next week. Parts unknown. You'll have to watch theprepsports.com to find out, or theprep3 on social media. For all of our crew and for all the folks here at Jimmy John's Field, my name's Chad Bush. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for watching. So long. Parents Changing Spaces is a locally owned, free senior living referral and placement service. They help families who have loved ones that can no longer independently care for themselves find a place to live. They work with families across Southeast Michigan to find all types of senior housing, including assisted living, memory care, and residential care homes. In addition, if your loved one is in need of some assistance but not yet ready to make a move, they can provide guidance and resources for in-care home givers, physical and occupational therapy, transportation, and much more. Parents Changing Spaces service is complimentary and of no charge to you. Give them a call today, 844-772-7368, to learn how they can help your family. Do you want your school's games on the Prep? Well, find out how by contacting us today at info@theprepsports.com. We're now booking for the winter and spring sports seasons, and we've got some openings that remain in the fall for football, girls volleyball, and boys soccer. Take your school and program to the next level by elevating the game with The Prep.
Hi, I'm Nick DePonio, and this is HVAC.